Okay, I think we are live. I meant to fix that. It's off by an hour. Hi, I hope everybody's doing well. It is Saturday, March 15th, and it is actually coming up on the 11 o'clock hour instead of the 10 o'clock that's implying. So I'm going to actually fix that real quick because I can't believe I thought I fixed it, but apparently I didn't fix it the right way. I hope everybody's doing well. That's so weird. Oh, I see why. I see why that happened. I changed the name, but wasn't able to change the asset location. So there's the problem. I'm gonna fix this real quick, and then we're gonna skip that, and then we're gonna click save. We're gonna edit this. And then we're gonna chat for a while. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I'm working on making sure that all of my chat is up here, and we're gonna give it a go here in just a moment. Let me do previous asset. Do previous asset. 1059. Hey, that's correct. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Though I do want to raise this just a little bit. I apologize for the shakiness that is about to happen. There we go. I think that centers my face better. It gives us an actual timestamp there, and you can just ignore the bottle of sunscreen and the leg that's up there holding my hair light. So is that even on? It is. All right, we're good. So good morning to everyone who is here. For some reason, I'm not getting YouTube chat up here. That's really strange. But I'm getting YouTube stuff over in the feed. I'm not sure what is going on. I may have to restart this. But let's see. Mr. Grey Wolf is here. JD is here over on Twitch. Thank you guys for joining over there. Though I do believe we're down to one viewer over there, but it is what it is. Over on the YouTube, we've got Mindband, we've got Jan. So let's see, 11:59 here in Ames, Indiana. Yep, I fixed that, so we should be good to go there. Zero Linux is here. Glad to have you. Collins is about to get gift over there. Like that, because of his comment there. I never trust their account. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. So let me make sure that everything here is good. So I want to make sure that the audio is good. I've changed some things. I'm no longer using the setup I was using before. Before we were using a USB microphone from Mayono that worked fine, but it was up here, and it's really meant to be, like here. Audio sounds great, awesome. I'm gonna have to restart ground control because it's not picking up anything from YouTube, and that's frustrating. So I'm gonna restart that. It's not gonna affect you guys at all. There was an update, and I don't know if that update broke things. Ground control. So anyway, yeah. So we were using that Mayono USB microphone that's meant to be like right here in front of my face, but it was up here and away, and the audio wasn't great. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was kind of tinny, and that's where, hey, there's some YouTube stuff coming through. So I think that restart again finished it. Prior to that, we were using this Focusrite Scarlett Solo, this guy, but ran into so many issues with it being crackly and poppy and intermittent and just not great. But I recently upgraded to the Mayono PS22 Lite, I believe. The tech class, we fixed what we fixed. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now we're getting YouTube and we're getting Twitch up here. Glad to see that. So anyway, I upgraded to a different audio interface a couple of days ago anyway, and the audio should come through better. It should come through louder. I was able to turn it up. There was just a limitation. I think I just got a bad unit from Focusrite. But the Mayono seems to be working, seems to be louder than before. and I can adjust that kind of on the fly just as easily as the other one. But I think overall it just gives a better presentation. I'm able to use my Audio Technica shotgun microphone. I can't send it back. It's been more than a year, and it worked fine for a while. One of the issues that I've had buying stuff from certain marketplaces is like I will get something that was very, very obviously a return that somebody bought, broke, and returned, and I'll get that broken thing. And I think that something similar may have happened here. Somebody probably overpowered it, plugged it in the wrong way, something. I don't know. They probably plugged it into the wall, and it just caused issues. So yeah, I think this new Mayono USB to XLR interface is going to work for us, and I think the audio is going to be all right. So I think we're good. We've got some stuff to chat about today. I know the title and the thumbnail are all about the Self-Host newsletter, and we're absolutely going to talk about that. But I do have some other things that I want to talk about. But I cannot remember where I put my list because I'm actually using a container. I think prox cube. Damn, I should have sent myself some links first. Though I did. I sent myself links to the thing I cannot find now. So this is par for the course, though. This is what we like to do here: is flounder about at the beginning of these just for the sake of I guess your entertainment. I hope you're entertained. I need that "are you not entertained" meme thing there to pop in. Oh, I wanted you to fill that in. Why? There we go. And then it's going to send me an email because I've always got two-factor authentication turned on for everything, even if I'm only accessing it locally. No, I am going the wrong way for that. Let me get logged in over here so I can find that one thing. You know what? I don't need that. I'm dumb. 2.168.0.238. No, 238. So I hope everybody's doing well. I apologize to anybody who's over on Twitch that's getting an ad. I don't know why they're blowing an ad through right now. We just started. That's weird. Is it here? It is here. All right. What is it? It is 37. 37 is what we're looking for. I understand that. There we go. And then I want this and I want that. Okay. We're in a circus to be entertained. There's some cool new services in this week's newsletter. Yep, we're going to talk about some of those. Let's see, what else do we have here? The time has come, rebooting the main PC back in a bit. Best of luck, Mr. Grey Wolf. I had to do that yesterday with this system, and I don't know if it's Microsoft just screwing with me, but reboots that used to take like 30 seconds is now taking like 2 or 3 minutes for this system to reboot with Windows 11 on a relatively fresh install. Like I reinstalled a couple of months ago. There's next to nothing running on it other than some live stream stuff. Yeah, so in this live stream, we're going to chat about the Self-Host newsletter. We're going to look through some of the new apps in there. We're going to talk a little bit about Icewhale a little bit. They're the guys behind the Zima Cube board, whatever. We're going to talk about them and Minis Forum kind of together. Just kind of talk about a Reddit thread I read yesterday. I want to talk a little bit about WAGMI OS. We talked about that in the last live stream, and I said I wanted to try it, and I did. And I've got some thoughts. We're going to take a look at that, and then this last one is just my new speed test. My new speed tests are coming through really well. I recently got a lot of you'll know that I recently got a new Unify network that allows for a multi-gig WAN port, which is great. It has 2.5 and 10 gig WAN attached to it, and as a result, Yeah, so now that's what my speed test is showing me. I'm getting about 3 gigs symmetrically. I mean, with a little wonkiness here and there, stuff happens. But yeah, super happy with the new 3 gig connection. So I had that in my notes just because I guess I wanted to brag a little, I guess. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what's on the radar for today. Is those kind of, well, now 3 topics because we just looked at the last one there. So I think where do we want to start? Do we want to talk about Ice Whale and Minis Forum, or do we want to talk about WAGMI OS? I would love to know what you guys think about that. While we're collecting answers on that, I'm going to get logged in to this. Let's start at the beginning. Well, the beginning is the self-host newsletter. Maybe we should start there because I feel like that will take... That's what people are probably here for if they read the title and the thumbnail. So I guess probably we should start there. So I'm just checking to make sure I'm not getting any issues over here. Just making sure. Excellent connection. We're pushing about 6 megs. Audio's good. Video's good. I think I'm in focus. So I think with all of that out of the way, let's jump in and take a look at the self-host newsletter. Let's close that. I don't need that right now. So over to my desktop. Hey, there we go. So this week in self-hosted, 14th of March, 2025. Again, just for those of you who aren't familiar, this is the self-host newsletter. This is produced, put out, whatever, by Ethan Shawley. He's been part of the self-host community for the last few years. I'm just going to share those to the different chats. And he and I have been working together for the last couple of years with his year-end newsletter, or his year-end survey. That's the word I'm looking for, not newsletter. I mean, newsletter too, but survey. And that's kind of how we got started, and we've been kind of collaborating on a few things here and there. And over the last little while, Ethan has been unable to talk about. So for a while, he was not only doing the newsletter, he was also doing a supplemental YouTube video. And so he was kind of releasing both of those Friday morning as supplementals to each other, I suppose, and hasn't been able to do that in a while. And I reached out and was like, hey, I see you're not able to do this. Can I do this? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And we're just running with it for right now. So yeah, that's where we are. Looks like he's been using RatG Disco recently, getting his garage door. So, that makes sense. So it's just a Rat garage door, basically, where you can integrate that into your home assistant or whatever, and have automations happen based on all kinds of different things. I actually think that's pretty cool. If I parked in my garage, I would absolutely consider something like this, but I don't. My garage is half this studio and half storage and like 3/4 garbage, mostly just cardboard from shipments and boxes and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, this looks actually pretty neat, but again, not really something I can use for my setup. And then this HA voice preview, I'm actually really thinking about getting one of these. For a while now, I've had Gemini on my phone as my home assistant, or my on phone assistant, I guess. So instead, when I say "Hey Assistant" name, it's Gemini instead of just the Google Assistant, and it's been really neat. I've been able to just say, "Hey, do this thing," and it would do that thing, even though I didn't actually have a routine or whatever set up for that. And I can't remember where the thing is that I'm looking for here. No, it's down here under public preview. Still waiting for that to update. But I'm actually thinking about getting one of these and attaching it to a local instance of a Llama or ChatGPT or something, because I watched Paul Hibbert's video on this, and I really appreciated how easily or how easy it made certain things to work. Of course, attaching that to ChatGPT then makes it still dependent on the internet, whereas if you just use this locally, there is no dependency there's no internet dependency with this if you just keep it all local. See, Cold Shoulder Media says, I'm pretty disappointed with my Home Assistant voice. I know I'm supposed to have a GPU for my Llama, but I don't want to burn all the extra idle power. That's fair. You could. I wonder in a situation like this if you couldn't use the onboard, like the iGPU, if your CPU supports that. Some of the recent mini PCs that I've done some testing with actually did pretty well by passing through the iGPU. As long as you don't ask them to do anything too terribly complicated. But I think for voice recognition, it might work pretty well. I haven't tested that yet. But I'm considering getting one of these just because I think it would be pretty neat to do that. There are just some things, though, I would still have to attach. I'd have to attach to Google. I don't know. But it's new tech that I want to play with, so I'm still trying to decide what I should do. So you're using Ryzen? Okay. I don't know much about the iGPUs on any of that. I don't know which one you've got or what that iGPU looks like. But the developer, let's go back over to here. For the readers that aren't masochists, here's a few other things worth checking out this weekend. The developer behind the popular dashboard project Glance released an accessibility improvement in record time to accommodate a blind Redditor's request. I actually ran into this on Reddit the other day. Sorry, I don't like old.reddit. But yeah, somebody was like, hey, I'm totally blind. I currently use Homepage because it's features. And then just like 18 hours later or something, they added a lot of different features for accessibility, which I absolutely love. I love the self-hosted community for being able to hear somebody's situation, be like, oh yeah, we can do that, and then just do it. So yeah, I think that's great. I love that just that quickly they were able to implement more accessibility just that quick. Love that. Sorry, what was this? Someone who doesn't like old Reddit. I guess they exist. Yeah. I don't like. I like the interface on new Reddit better. Old Reddit looks, I don't know, old, I guess. And I'm genuinely shocked that they're maintaining two different versions simultaneously. But they are, so good on them, I suppose. But yeah, that is rapid development. I 100% agree with that. Super impressed with Glance. Have considered redeploying Glance for my own use, just because honestly I don't remember if Glance uses YML files or YAML files, because like my homepage uses YAML files and there's so many things on there I need to change. Like I've got Plex in here, and I've got Prowler and Sonar and Radar and all of this, but like in order to remove Omada, I've got to edit a YAML file. I need to edit a YAML file to change the IP on this. I think this is, yeah, that's on Jarvis. I'm not using this backup server anymore. Glances does also use YAML. I was afraid of that. I'll give you a shortcut. Okay. But anyway, I've considered moving over to that. Glance is a single YAML file, yeah, and I think Homepage uses a couple of different YAML files, but I liked Glance quite a bit. Like I saw my old video on it recently, and I remember liking it a lot. Set up a file browser. File browser has native text editor. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I've also done it through. Just through the through Nano, and it's been fine. Oh, that's good. Tisman Field Gaming says, be advised, Glances doesn't support widget status like Homepage does. I thought they changed that. But maybe, I don't know. Made a number of accessibility improvements that should make Glance available for a wider audience. That was awesome. Oh, so Glance is a dashboard like homepage or whatever. In fact, maybe, yeah, like here we go. So this, like you can see this right here. This is Glance. This is what it looks like. But you do bring up a valid point. Yeah, like Homar, for instance. But you're right. It doesn't seem to have the widgets that I've got here. Huh. I thought maybe they would have that by now, but apparently they don't. Branding theme widgets. All right. So they've got some widgets, but not nearly. They do title, icon, URL. Yeah, that doesn't really help much. Widgets are cool. Yeah, they are. I agree. And this just says whether or not it's up. Huh. Well, damn. I guess I'm just going to stick with homepage for right now then, so that I can and then edit some of this stuff. It is what it is. It's not difficult to edit. I'm lazy. So, but anyway, yeah. Glance did some really cool stuff there, and I'm really really happy for them, for doing that. I think that's great. What else? Oh, you know what? I am ever so slightly out of center there. I know it's an arrogant thing to complain about, but this way you can also kind of at least see names back there. How long is live? I miss a lot. Well, we've only been up and running for 23 minutes, Sevig, so you haven't hardly missed anything. We did an audio check like we always do. We settled in for a minute, and like here's the top of the newsletter, and we just got to right here. So we're still very, very early on. You're early. You're doing all right. So we've also got two unrelated projects, Booklore and Pilkshare, announced that they're transitioning to open source license. Or sorry, Pilk. I said Pilk. It's Plickshare. They're announcing a transition to open source licenses. That's cool. Have we looked at Plickshare? I don't know if we've looked at Plickshare. Self-hosting sharing platform with unlimited users, flexible storage options, and secure external collaboration features. I don't think that we've actually looked at Plickshare. We need to do that. We definitely need to look at Plickshare, I think, because this looks pretty interesting. Well, cool. That I'm gonna set this to the end of my list here. Aruna says, when is tea break so I can prepare? I genuinely don't know. My wife is still working on her coffee, so hour and a half maybe, hard to say. But she asked me earlier if I would like tea today, and I said absolutely I would. So I know it's on its way. I just don't know when. Let's see, Tumblr front end, Privibler and Reddit front end, Edrit. That's funny. Both dropped releases with basic RSS support for the feed junkies out there. I have mixed feelings on these alternate front ends. I think they're great for certain reasons, but at the same time, as a content creator, when somebody uses a different front end for, say, YouTube or whatever, I don't get credit for those views. I don't get credit for those ads, those sorts of things. So from a content creator perspective, it sucks. But from a privacy perspective, I get it. Jorge Gomez says, hey, all. Hi, thanks for stopping by. Glad to have you here. Always love seeing familiar faces. So this is Privibler is an alternative front end to Tumblr with a touch of modern design. It looks really nice. Like, it genuinely looks really nice. It's a proxy that it makes requests to Tumblr in lieu of allowing you to browse without being tracked. Best RSS for Chromebook. That's a really vague question. Arun is like, does Tumblr still exist? Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that as well. They lost a lot of market share when they banned adult content. Let's scroll back up here. Best RSS for Chromebook. Like, are we? I don't understand your question there, Mark Smith. If we could get more information, that'd be cool. It has cats. I'm sold. Yeah, there's a lot of cats. There's lots of cats over there. How does Bookshare compare to Readar? I don't know. Did you cover NPM Plus in the past? No. We talked about it. We talked about NPM Plus last week. I actually wasn't aware of it. In fact, it was in my list of things. NPM Plus. Yeah, let's open this back up just so I can do this, right? Here's what I want to do. So I don't screw this up again and I don't forget again. I've already got this marked for today's date on the live stream. Things to check out. There we go. All right, then I can close some of these other tabs. And we also wanted to look at PlickShare. That was the other one. We're going to close those. Let's get back over to here. I'm hooked on Pangolin now. Yeah, I need to revisit Pangolin. They've made a bunch of changes since my video, like with multi-domain support and that sort of thing. And I really need to take another look at Pangolin just with all of the new updates. And then Edrit. Let's take a quick look at Edrit as well. I know it's another front-end proxy, effectively. Edrit, a lightweight alternative front-end for Reddit. Lightweight. Yeah, I mean, it's... Yep, it sure is. Let's take a look at their website and see what this looks like. I mean, it is definitely a stripped down version. My first question is theme, system, dark. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you very much. There we go. So it does have dark mode, which I dig. I appreciate that. Though that said, I kind of wish that I wish it didn't go all the way across the screen. Which one? Main. Width. Oh, maybe. Oof. So maybe 80%. No, maybe let's do like 75% and close that. Yeah, I think that looks better. But again, that's preferential. I'd like to see if maybe there were some options for custom CSS, because that's the first thing I would do. Is that I would make it much narrower. I don't like a full screen for that. But it looks good. It's a stripped down version, which is great. Man, lots of politics in there. Holy crap! This is their homepage, not mine. I try to stay away from a lot of politics stuff lately. F-Droid is a good alternative to the Google Play Store, but that's really not the topic that DB covers around here. That's true. Did I miss something about that? Limited by library control. So, Mark, you're giving us a lot of like fragmented sentences without giving us really a full thought. We can't help if you can't give us like a full thought. Like, I'm looking for an RSS reader that does this, that, and the other that will also be presentable on my Chromebook, for example. Peter says, greetings from Montreal. Hope everybody's having an awesome weekend so far. I am. It's 11:30, as you'll probably see up there at some point behind me. Doing all right. Thank you very much. Hope you're also doing well. Bill Hicks says, tip, don't run Pangolin as in the same box as Tailscale while trying to debug. Yeah, I could imagine that. I could imagine some networking issues there. Yeah, I think I've actually taken a look at F-Droid in the past and then never actually did anything with it. 1326 where you're located, so you're 2 hours ahead of me there. That's cool. Let's see. The latest Google Pixel update, Linux terminal for Android devices, and Lemmy. Some hilarious takes on what this can mean for self-hosting community. Huh. One RS reader that I can load in Chrome, Linux not available. I mean, can you self-host an RSS feed and then like go to that? I haven't used a Chromebook in so long. Like, I have one somewhere. I think it's in a closet. But yeah, I would self-host an RSS reader and then just pull it up in a browser. You know, like I'm doing with like Dumpad here, for instance. Like this is a Docker container that's running on one of the boxes there behind me that I just pull up in a browser anywhere I want to access it. So probably self-host something. on a mini PC or something if you've got that available, and go from there. In the news, Home Assistant officially matters. So yeah, they're actually Matter certified. So that's awesome. Really glad to see that. Fresh RSS. Been meaning to look at other options. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there are any RSS apps in Chrome. I would assume so. But yeah, you'll just have to look through the Chrome web store and see if there's an RSS reader that you like. In the news, so Home Assistant is actually officially Matter certified, so that's awesome. ESP32 undocumented Bluetooth commands clearing the air. That's not what I was thinking it was. Android's Linux terminal app is now widely available on Pixels, and here's how to get it. They always give everything to the Pixels first, which I get it. It's their hardware. They can control it. They can test it there. I get it, but I feel left out. Although I've been considering getting a Pixel at some point because I think they're neat phones and I'd really like to have one. D says, hey, back again. Glad to have you back. Overcoming barriers to open source procurement in the European Union. Interesting. So we've got some software updates from Alias Vault. They've got a browser extension for Firefox and Edge, improved user registration and tutorial flow, more stats on the admin dashboard. That's awesome. Bar Assistant adds single sign-on support, nested ingredient hierarchies, ability to add ingredients to the menu, new API endpoints. That's awesome. I tried using that once, and in fact, I thought about making a video about Bar Assistant, but I was pretty sure that YouTube would poop its pants and it would get restricted, and I'd get another community guideline strike, so I didn't. BugSync, tag-based search, experimental support for PostgreSQL databases. That's cool. Comic Utilities has image enhancements. File managers, that's cool. I'm glad they added a file manager to that. Man, I got this itch. I always get them lately. I don't know why. Loading indicators, directory icon selection, new config directory for deployment. There's some updates for dollar bill, y'all. We talked about this last week a little bit. We looked at that. Budget management, advanced categorization, OIDC support, and Unraid integration. That's not a terrible idea, Collins. He says, Bar Assistant seems like a good app for a Twitch late night live stream while sampling some of the cocktail ideas. I agree. That would involve buying a bunch of beverages and mixers and that sort of thing. Maybe release some of the riskier stuff on PeerTube. I don't want to set up PeerTube. I think I looked at PeerTube at one point. PeerTube, join PeerTube, browse content, publish videos. Maybe. Getting started, create an account on an existing PeerTube platform or host my own. Man, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. It's not a terrible idea. I'll add this to the list of things to dig into. What is the fix for API rate limit when I update or install any scripts from the helper script? I don't know. I've never actually ran into an API rate limit. Are you talking about Proxmox helper scripts on that as far as getting rate limited there? I'm confused. Your list is getting long. I mean, look, it's 4 things. Like, all of this is other stuff that we're going to talk about today. Proxmox helper scripts. Okay. I wasn't aware that they were rate limiting people, so I'm curious about that as well. Oh, it's a Docker Hub rate limit. That's what I was thinking, because it's hosted there on Docker. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame that hosting a video platform is so resource intensive, but probably nothing can be done about that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to transcode videos, and that's where a lot of your overhead comes from, is that. And of course, storage, taking up storage and that sort of thing. Yeah, you'd probably want a decent sized or decent GPU. for something like that, depending on how you got that set up. Thoughts about outline? I feel like we looked at outline at one point. I'm pulling up over here. Outline. Apparently, I haven't made a video about outline. Interesting. Yeah, and lots of bandwidth. I don't have to worry about that as much anymore. Luckily, my my ISP doesn't have any caps. Outline, Docker. Oh, Docker. There we go. Get outline. Oops. Guide on how to use. And all right, I'm just getting stuck in docs here. Get outline. I feel like I looked at this once and then never made a video about it, or if I did, it was called something else. But I don't feel like that's the case either. But I'm looking over here at my dashboard, and it's saying that I don't have any videos about outline, so I don't know. I think it looks a lot like something else that I looked at some point. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused. Maybe that's why. Well then, add it to the list. Oops, not that list. Things to check out. There's 5 things. It's compatible with Obsidian. Let's see, hold on. It looks very similar to DocMost. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, I got that, the getoutline.com. Yep, we're there. But like if I were to search for outline in my videos over here on YouTube, it should give me that as well. Looks very similar to DocMost. I use Notepad++ on my Windows system, not with so many tabs containing important entries. Do you know a good way to optimize or improve this? I do. I use Dumppad now. And because I've got this, like I've got all of these notes in here, like this is a script that I'm working on. This was a CSS fix for the live stream that you guys can't see. But yeah, so like script, CSS live stream to blur something, the live stream description. That's the one that Collins helped me with when we did the Twingate live stream. Termix video description for the video released a couple of days ago. And then for the live stream, this is what we're looking at here. I've been using this lately, and it seems to work really well for my needs anyway. I love Notepad++. I always have multiple tabs open at Open 2. Another solution for knowledge sharing that no one will remember to maintain. Is Dumppad perfect for this? I think it is, but I still have this habit of also having a notepad open on my laptop with a dozen tabs open in that as well, and just regular like Windows Notepad, not Notepad++ or anything like that. I used to use Notepad++ for some stuff, but I don't anymore, and I don't know why. Like there was never any issues with it. But yeah, Dumppad's pretty cool. I dig it a lot. There's interesting. All right. What else we got here? Irugo or Irugo, I don't know which it is. Support for external authentication and SSO with UI enhancements. That's great. Really liked that one. I called it Irugo all the way through that video, and then somebody in the comments was like, they're like, as I read it, it was more like "Here you go," which makes a lot more sense after they said that. So I'm not sure what the actual pronunciation of that is. Git sync, notification support for Notify and Godify for sync completions and errors. That's great. I love when apps add notification options like that. Invidious, what is? Oh, it's a YouTube front end. So we're just going to skip over that just because I don't want YouTube to poop its pants again. Mini notes, move files and folders within vaults. Starter vaults for new users, additional file type support for links and backlinks. That's cool. I feel like we looked at mini notes as well. We did not. Huh. What is this? Markdown note-taking app designed for simplicity. Oh yeah. Interesting. Huh. I like the look of it. It's very basic. This is man, it's very simple, which I appreciate. And then of course the layout over here is actually pretty great. I dig that. Cool. Oops, no, give me that back. Milo, which is music streaming, changes the grid size, save queues as playlists, delete tracks from the queue bottom, add BPM. That's neat. I dig that. Navidrome, multiple artists in album and songs, contributors, performers. That's great. That's great. I always like to see, who they're featuring and that sort of thing. So that's awesome. Get Sync seems like something I could use at work. Cool. Let us know how that goes. Private Blur, we took a look at already. Profiler, it's got an R at the end, so we're going to skip it because it's Media Manager. Proxmox Helper Scripts has added some new scripts for Fluid Calendar NPM Plus, so maybe we'll take a look at that later. Paperless GPT, I feel like this was being chatted about in Discord the other day. Planted and C file. I don't know what Planted is. Helper scripts. Let's jump over to here. View scripts. And we're just going to search for it. Wait. Oh, more. Let's look at it here. Planted. Self-hosted open source app designed to help manage and track plant care. Cool. David Harvey subscribed on YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if you're here. I don't know if you'll see that, but thanks for subscribing. That's awesome. Where are we here? Okay, we're good there. Plant script, view, website. Wow. So this is all mobile. Nice. It looks a lot like Hortus Fox. We've never actually taken a look at either of those. Host the server, installation. Like it kind of gives, like I don't know which one came first. It doesn't really matter. But Hortus Fox is another one that's a lot like this that I still need to look at. Might have to take a look at those at some point. My wife has gotten super into plants over the last couple of years, and I actually help her take care of some of them. And I've got a couple that I really like looking at and keeping an eye on. And I showed her Hortus Fox a while back, and she really was impressed with it because Hortus Fox, let's actually pull it up. Let's do it this way. Yeah, there we go. I'm actually going to pull this back. There we go. So Hortus Fox has an ability to do plant identification. I'm going to zoom in on that. Plant identification via an API. I don't know. I don't remember who the documentation. Oh, really? Click there. Admin, themes, history, inventory, tasks, manage plants. Anyway, they've got this API that connects to a third-party thing. That if you can take a picture of it, you can identify that plant pretty well. Like I think I got like a 90 to 95% accuracy with it. So maybe we should take a look at those one of these days. I really dig the premise on both of those. I don't know if this has the ability to identify though. Let's look at docs. Let's see. What is it? Who is it for? High level overview. Can we? If I could spell dent. Upon identifying the plant species, add a plant. To add a new plant, simply tap the search icon from bottom bar. From there, you can either add a custom species, or if you set up a Flora Codex key explored. Okay, so this does also have an API key that you can get and upload a picture. That's pretty neat. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry, things were blipping over here in the top left-hand corner of the screen, and I was confused. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at those. I think that's pretty interesting. So yeah, we'll take a look at those later. I'm not going to add it to my list because it's been on my radar for so long. In fact, I'm going to close those. Oh, they also added C file as a script. That was the other one. Yeah, C file right there. But yeah, definitely going to have to take a look at NPM Plus just because of some of the issues I had previously with Nginx Proxy Manager, the standard version. I'd be curious about this. It's an enhanced version of Nginx Proxy Manager. It simplifies the process of setting up a reverse proxy with TLS termination through a user-friendly web interface. Key features include HTTP3 support, integration of CrowdSec IPS, inclusion of Go access for real-time log analysis, and support for mod security with the core rule set. This uses Docker under the hood as it cannot be installed bare metal. The initial starting process can take a minute or two. And then application credentials are right there. Easy enough. So there's a couple of different versions. Create a new proxmox VE command and run this. Or as an alternate option, you can use Alpine Linux and the npm plus package. Interesting. Are they... with a faster creation time and minimal system resource usage. You're also obliged to adhere to updates provided by the package maintainer. Well, yeah, if you're running anyway, yeah, that all makes sense. Screw it. We're gonna add that to the list too. All right. Well, then let's close out a bunch of this stuff and take a look. Oops, let's close that. Let's take a look over here. Proxmox helper scripts. There we go. Recommender. We're going to skip over that one as well. ROMM screenscraper.fr integration auto-generated. Oh, this is for gaming. This is a ROM thing, which again, because I don't trust YouTube, we're going to skip over. He's checking it twice, right? Got the white beard to go with it. I mean, you know, gotta build a character back here. SimpleX chat, messaging. Let's take a look here. SimpleX chat, Simplex. Probably, I don't know if it's SimpleX or Simplex, but make a private connection. This video shows how to connect your friends via their one-time QR code and a personal. That might be interesting to take a look at. Self-hosted private chat. I heard, and I'm sure it's 100% true, but I don't have any way to back it, that a lot of these services that are out there, whether these different social media sites that we use, are digging through our chat logs, our private chat logs, our DM chat logs, and coming up with ad recommendations based on that. Like, I think it's pretty safe to say that our phones are always listening to us and generating a profile on us, because there have been times, like I'm sure you've all experienced, where you talk about something in your house and then all of a sudden you start getting ads for it. Having a separate private chat that's away from prying eyes might not be a bad idea. Bill Hicks says simplex like duplex. That's what I'm wondering. I don't know if it's simplex or SimpleX. Because like, why SimpleX? Learn more. You can connect to that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's SimpleX or Simplex. Because like even in here, it's like, oops, like it looks like SimpleX. Oops, you can't see that. Like if we look here, it looks like SimpleX. So I don't know. I'm confused by all of that. Graphene OS for phone for those who want to have higher privacy. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but I'm on an S22 with all of its updates, which means that it's probably not going to be easy to root. I haven't rooted a phone in a really, really long time, like a really long time. I kind of got over jailbreaking and rooting and all that kind of stuff a long time ago. I just try to be cautious about what I'm doing with my devices, because I don't want to run into a situation where my phone craps out on me because I did something stupid, you know. And Collins, you're right. It does look like it could be simple XXX because of their logo. Hard to say, but might be worth taking a look at some point. Let's see. Sterling PDF memory usage enhancements. That's great. Sterling PDF is a great product. I made a video about it and it did really well. Sterling PDF. Of course, I've got two versions of that. I don't know which one I'm looking for here. It's that one. Definitely not that one. Yeah. Yeah, that one did almost like 30,000 views, 172 subscribers on Sterling PDF. So glad to see that they're doing some more optimization on that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Sterling PDF is an amazing product. I agree. Let's see, Tube Archivist, we're going to skip because, again, I don't trust YouTube. And Umami, if you're looking for web analytics, they've got support for batch sending, payload overrides, parameter to enable respecting user do not track preferences. That's cool. I'm glad to see that they've added that. I just don't know what took them so long to enable respecting users do not track preferences. That's weird. But this is, of course, the area that I really like to see, where we talk about new software. Really big fan of this section. Apt Repository Previewer. This is a web-based tool for previewing and web-based tool for browsing and searching APT or apt repositories. This got brought up, I think, in a private chat on Discord yesterday. This tool allows you to explore package repositories, view package information, and download packages directly from the browser. That's interesting. Borg Swarm, hey, glad to have you here, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Using UV. So, browse apt repositories by entering the base URL. View repository metadata, including architectures and components. Browse and search our packages in repository. Man, there, I think I got it that time. It's a little fuzzy hair that was driving me nuts. Running the application. Okay. Again, this is one of those things where I'd really like to see a screenshot. Enter that. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is something I would actually ever use. And not because it's not a great product, I don't know that I'd have any use for it. Interesting. Audiobook request management automation. I feel like there are other things out there for other things, which I know is a very semantically null sentence. Auntie PDF, web application for extracting information and insights from PDF documents. Is this like AI enhanced? Your all-knowing guide to unpack every PDF and declare actionable insights. That's not as helpful as I'd want it to be. Welcome to Auntie PDF. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. There was a thing recently about it requires an external AI. That's good to know. Thank you. Appreciate that, Collins. But there was a thing recently. I wonder if I can find it. Like document converters used to hack people. Yeah, here we go. This was recently. March 7th. There we go. Oh, no option for even your own. That sucks. So yeah, this is actually Denver's FBI. FBI Denver warns of online file converter scam. Let me zoom in on that so you guys can see it a little bit better maybe. The FBI Denver field office is warning that agents are increasingly seeing a scam involving free online document converter tools, and they want to encourage victims to report incidences of this scam. In the scenario, criminals use free online document converter tools to load malware into victims' computers, leading to incidents such as ransomware. The best way to thwart these fraudsters is to educate people so they don't fall victim to these fraudsters in the first place, says FBI Denver Special Agent in Charge Mark Michalek, I think. If you or someone you know has been affected by this scheme, we encourage you to make a report and take actions to protect your assets. Every day we're working to hold these scammers accountable and provide victims with the resources they need. To conduct this scheme, cybercriminals across the globe are using any type of free document converter or downloader tool. This might be a website claiming to convert one type of file to another, such as doc to a PDF. It might also claim to combine files, such as joining multiple JPEG files into a PDF file. The suspect program might claim to be an MP3 to MP4 downloading tool, or MP3 or MP4 downloading tool. These converters and downloading tools will do the task advertised, but the resulting file can contain hidden malware, giving criminals access to the victim's computer. The tools can also scrape the submitted files for personal identifying information, such as social security numbers, date of birth, phone numbers, banking information, cryptocurrency information, email addresses, and passwords. Unfortunately, many victims don't realize that they've been infected by the malware until it's too late, and their computer is infected with ransomware or their identity has been stolen. This is why we self-host, guys. This is it right here. Because there are so many of these services online that anybody can throw up, they can corrupt these services and make them infect your files that you're trying to legitimately convert or merge or whatever. This is why we self-host, so that we've got a better chance of that not happening. If you want to convert several Word files into a PDF file, there's a self-hosted option for that that's being constantly monitored by the community, by GitHub, by hub.docker.com, all of these services that are monitoring for this kind of stuff in real time and keeping us updated. It just sucks that there's such crap people out there that want to do these kinds of scams and take advantage of people who are just trying to do their own thing, to live their life. Right, Colin says, I've never trusted the online file conversion because aren't they all just scraping your data? Probably. And this post right here validates that concern, because like this was a week ago, 8 days ago, whatever. This was last Friday, where the FBI Denver field office put out this warning that these online file converters are doing this, and that sucks. I hate that people are that sucky out there. It makes me sad for humanity. All right, so this Auntie or anti-PDF. Anti-PDF requires an external AI is what Collins is telling me, and that's kind of unfortunate. It'd be nice if you could tag in your own Olama kind of thing here. The only online tool I ever use that kind of stuff is just convert JPEGs to ICOs. Yeah, but okay, so then let me ask you this, Borg Swarm. What happens if you convert the JPEG to an ICO, and then they infect that ICO, and then you upload that to your web server, and then when somebody goes to your website with that ICO, now they've downloaded that ICO to their server, to their computer, and now they've infected their computer via that ICO file. So I know that's maybe a bit of a reach, but maybe it's not that big of a reach after all, because we're seeing that in real time from the FBI. So it's entirely possible that one of those ICO or JPEG or PNG to ICO, if you're not familiar with an ICO file, like when you're browsing a website, you can see the little icon up here in the top left of your browser, in most browsers anyway. That's an ICO file. It's just a .ico. It's an icon for web stuff. ICO. Yeah, favicon.ico, which is just this right here. But it's uploaded. Like here we can see that it's right here. It's antipdf.com/favicon.ico. It's on the server, right? So it's being downloaded to my computer to present here in some capacity. So it sucks. It sucks that people out there are doing those kinds of things. Like it really, really does. But yeah. Oh, yeah, and Colin says that's why Sterling is such a great tool. Not only that, but actual applications that do that can be hundreds of dollars. Adobe, the Adobe one, I can't think of the name of it, Acrobat. Acrobat is expensive, and so to have something like Sterling available for free, absolutely love that. Calibre Web Companion, an unofficial Android app for browsing and downloading books from the Calibre Web collections. That's pretty neat. I used to have Calibre set up. My wife does a lot of ebook stuff, and had that set up for a while. Dawani is an AI-powered assistant for Indian languages. That's cool, but doesn't apply to me, and a good chunk of you, probably. Not everybody, probably, but AI-powered assistant for Indian languages. Docker cron, execute cron in a completely rootless environment. I'm curious about this. 11 notes, rootless cron scheduler with command socket or CMD socket command. Again, no screenshots here. Oh, it's just, interesting. You still got to build out your cron tabs. That's what I wanted to see. We're going for a ride. Got to pick up number 3 from fishing. That's cool. That's cool. A lot of kids these days just don't do stuff like that anymore. I don't do that anymore. I used to when I was a kid. I'd go fishing. My grandpa was part of the Pro Bassmasters Association. We went fishing a lot when I was a kid. Let's see. Go AdBlock is a lightweight, high-performance DNS-based ad blocker written in Go. Let's take a look at this. Written entirely in Go and designed for network-level DNS ad blocking functionality. The project is public under the MIT license. Oh, we're going with. Awesome. This is a work-in-progress application and may contain bugs or incomplete features. Glad they've got that up front. Oof. Okay, this is just a theme. Okay, interesting. Sacred timeline protected, timestamps. That was a week ago. Variant files, This is installing this way. There's different ways to install it. Looks like config file, block lists. A lot of stuff still being done in files. I have mixed feelings on that. I go back and forth on whether or not I think things should be configured in YAML or config files. I don't know. GoMFT is a web-based managed file transfer application with support for multiple storage providers. We looked at something, what was this earlier? NPM Plus is in there twice. There was something else that we were going to look at. ClickShare, I think was what it was. Go managed file transfer. There we go. Interesting. Web-based managed file transfer written in Go, leveraging rclone for robust file transfer capabilities. It provides user-friendly interface for configuring and scheduling and monitor file transfers across various storage providers. So we're just moving files from one place to another. I was thinking this was like file sharing, not file transfers, and that's because I read it wrong. Also, I think it's funny, their username is Starfleet Captain. That's pretty funny. Oops. Over there. There we go. What else we got? Hoarder random bookmarks and random hoarder bookmarks via email or Discord. Okay. iframe widget for Nextcloud. Display and view external websites directly from a Nextcloud dashboard. I guess it's for the ClickOps people. Maybe. I display and view external websites directly from the Nextcloud dashboard. I mean, I guess if it works. I've had mixed results showing stuff in iframes. Let's see, iframe widget. We'll just look and see. Hidden. Okay, header. Widget icon. Great. Gonna choose that. Then he blurred it out. That's interesting. Okay, well, I guess as long as it's got some ability to set the frame height and width, that's not so bad. That might be all right. Now that I've gotten the hang of it, I prefer YAML for configs. I usually do too. Like I went through a phase where I hated it, and now there was a phase where I was all about it. Now I'm just kind of ambivalent to it. It's like if I got it, I will, but I don't necessarily wanna. How many years have they been trying to deprecate iframes at this point, dude? More than a decade at this point. They've been trying to deprecate iframes. I remember, like there was a push for that when I was still a web developer, and that was I haven't been a full-time web developer since like 2013, 2014, kind of somewhere around there. So yeah, about a decade we've been trying to get rid of iframes, and they just will not go away. There's just too many crap things that you can do with an iframe, or that a bad actor can do with an iframe, if you're not super careful. Billy Vieira says, I've moved from YAML to TOML and life has gotten so much easier. I don't doubt that. There's just not everything supports TOML files. People who are complaining about YAML are too young to remember the hell that is XML config files. Dude, I hate XML. Hate XML so much. So you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Yeah, look, if more things supported TOML, I might switch to that as well after I learned it. But I don't know much about TOML other than I've had to use it a couple of times, but I'm not super familiar with it. So you're just nesting your dashboards, huh? I'm using an iframe and glance to display homepage and glance as my main dashboard. I actually did something like that too with, oh, I can't think of what it's called. I had 18. Oh no, not that. There we go. Sorry, you can't see my screen. That's on purpose. Give me a minute. I'm just trying to remember what this was. I had a thing that I was using, Organizer. I actually had some iframe stuff in Organizer that was very, very similar to what you were doing there. Let's see. It's basically the easy INI files with the advanced capabilities of YAML. That's pretty cool. You should iframe glance into the homepage for fun and games. Yeah, just get yourself into a big loop and see how long it takes to crash your browser as it loads one thing inside another, inside another, inside another. Like you got like two mirrors next to each other. They just keep reflecting back and forth. That would be interesting. I'd be actually kind of curious to see what would happen there. That would be a fun experiment to do. So anyway, let's jump back over to here. iPlayer, we're going to skip gelling. We're going to skip Libra Snail. Basic meta search engine based on DuckDuckGo results. Interesting. Building the next gen AI-powered meta search engine. Doesn't really give a lot of information there. Let's do this. Who is DB Tech? Oh, none of these are me. DB Tech overview. DB Technology. The current state of DB Tech. That was from 6-7 months ago. Well, let's try DB Tech reviews. Let's try that. Technologies, DB Technologies. That's, man, DB Tech versus RCF. DB Tech reviews. DB Tech channel. Interesting. Okay, now more of my stuff is showing up. This is all me. 15,000 subscribers in 2020 and up to just over 90 now. That's cool. Now all my stuff's showing up. Yay. Huh. I don't know if I have any need for that, but cool. Like I'm glad that there's other options out there. Oh, let's see. Libra Snail. Yeah. Renee says, greets from Germany. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. For those of you who are on YouTube and weren't aware of it, I'm also streaming over on Twitch. And for those of you on Twitch who weren't aware of it, I'm also streaming on YouTube. I try to do a dual stream every week, at least on Saturdays, sometimes Tuesday or Wednesday as well. Just kind of depends on what's going on. But I always try to do at least one live stream on both platforms. But there are going to come some streams that are going to be Twitch specific, just because, again, as I've mentioned, I don't trust YouTube for certain things. Let's see. Multi-file upload editor. What is this? I'm curious. Lightweight application for uploading, editing, and managing files. Of course, I always scroll down. Here we go. All right. Oh, so we can organize things. That's neat. We can rename things. I don't know. We can create a folder. We can edit a folder. Okay, so it's kind of like C file, sort of, I think. So that's actually pretty neat. That might be a fun one to take a look at, because if you can, text-based image or text-based files can be opened and edited in a modal window without leaving the page. The editor modal is resizable and now uses Code Mirror for syntax highlighting, line numbering, and zoom in, zoom out functionality, allowing users to adjust the size of the text for a better editing experience. Files can also be renamed via a dedicated rename action without needing to re-upload them. That's really cool. That's going on the list. That's going to go on the list because I think that's great. So let's take a look. PlexWatch, we got to skip Reddit Terminal. Reddit Terminal is actually kind of a neat thing. Add your Twitch link, please. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm gonna paste this over here. Yeah, there's Twitch, and then let's do YouTube Live. And if you're over on Twitch and you'd rather do it this way, you can do that. There you go. There's a couple of links for you. So right, Reddit Terminal. Reddit Terminal is interesting because it's what it says on the tin. This is Reddit aggregator that allows you to hard-code list of subreddits that you're interested in. This can be edited with an array within this file called subreddits. Simply grab the subreddit name from the URL, add it in there. For example, do that. Here is a currently hard-coded subreddits are as follows. You can change these. Nice. Thank you so much for the follow. Super appreciate that. If you're not aware, Savag, if you've got an Amazon Prime subscription, you can tie Amazon Prime to Twitch and sub to the channel for free. So you get like one of those a month. Oh, I got an itch in my eye. Anyway, you can do like one of those a month. You can pick a person to subscribe to on Twitch. I make a couple of bucks and it doesn't cost you anything. So that's an option as well. So right there, there's that. Wait, hold on. So it's, yeah, it looks like you're viewing in the terminal. It's very, very condensed. It's just a different front end. And another one that works, I don't know. That's a really good question, Savak. I genuinely don't know. I just know if you, in America, United States anyway, if you attach your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, you can then use you get one free sub to a creator per month. And I don't know how that works. I don't know how like resubs work. I used mine a couple of months ago for Pirate Gaming because I enjoy his content quite a bit. But I don't know how if it automatically resubscribes or what. So it's worth a shot if you're interested in doing that. That'd be cool to find out. Anyway, so I need to readjust. Well, first I need to readjust my eye, but I need to readjust my thoughts on this because the naming of it confused me. Okay, Mr. Grey Wolf says resubs are manual. You have to redo it each month. For some reason, I guess Reddit Terminal, I thought this was something that would run in your terminal because apparently when I read this, I hadn't had enough coffee yet. But it's just a very, very condensed front end for Reddit. It looks good. I actually kind of like... let's open this up in a new window here. I like this for the comments. I actually really, really dig that. I think that's great. I like this a lot better. Well, that's boring. Reddit in a terminal sounds a lot, right? That's what I was thinking. Reddit in a terminal does sound like a lot more fun, and that's what I thought this was. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? I mean, other than you can or could possibly. I don't know. But this kind of readjusts my perspective on it. If you're looking for a Reddit front end, this might be fun to take a look at. It's in your browser. It runs on port 3001 or 3000. Oh, the Reddit API. I'm so confused. Where's our other port? Image. Okay, wait, wait. I feel like this is going to fail. Unless you have to clone something first. Because it's saying that I can make it an iframe, right? Yay, coffee. They were asking about you earlier. Or not coffee, tea. They were asking, Runa was asking when tea was so that he could synchronize. And I was like, I don't know. Probably the next hour and a half. And an hour and 15 minutes later. Excellent timing. Thank you very much. Oh, that's still way, way too hot. We're going to let that sit for a minute. So now that I've looked at this Docker Compose again, registry you can deploy, wait. To get up and running, you need to build 2 images and then use the Docker API or Docker file to populate the API. Okay, so you do need to, interesting. Well, maybe I'll hold off on that until they actually get an image available. I guess you could just clone this and then put your Docker Compose here and deploy from there. Yeah, I think you would just need to change this instead of image to build. And I think it would be fine. Interesting. I think we're going to wait for that to mature just a little bit. This doesn't have an official release over here. Wait, this doesn't have an official release over here anywhere. And all of these updates were from 2 days ago. So maybe we'll give that one a little bit of time to mature and see what happens with it later. A Resto POS for multi-tenancy restaurant billing and management system. Interesting. I haven't been in the restaurant industry in a long time, not since 2008. The restaurant I worked for at the time got closed down because one of the owners who was in charge of paying the taxes wasn't. It was August 8th of 2008. I just remember that because it was 888. And it doesn't matter if you're using, or which structure, if it's year, month, day, month, year, it's all 888. So that's how I remember. You missed her. She just popped in for a moment to drop off my tea. But anyway, it's, it is what it is, I suppose. I think, do we have any, no full releases here, no releases published right there. Again, I feel like this one has maybe got some potential. We've got options for dine-in and takeaway or delivery. Looks like we need a little change there. Maybe stack those instead of having them across. I mean, there's some UI things that could be done differently, but it might be good for somebody who's starting a restaurant. Yeah. What else we got here? That's Resto. So a snap your .co. It's powerful, intuitive code snippet screenshot generator. Interesting. Let's look over here. Oh, well, that's interesting. Trust something like that to run my business. Yeah, I agree. Colin says I have some concerns about trust and something like that to run my business. I would definitely be kind of curious about that. Wait, let's do this, right? I'm curious. I want to come back over to here. Is there a code snippet or something I can grab? Let's look at this JSON file. Yeah, let's just grab this and drop it over there and see what it does. And then what's this? Oh, you can adjust the width. And then what? Export? Oh, and then export as a PNG. Okay. All right. So it makes a nice little image of your code there. That's kind of cool. I don't know that I'd ever use it, but I dig it. Like it's a PNG that it generated based on that. That's pretty cool. I dig that quite a bit. I feel like I would need something more mature with support, good support. Yeah. And this may get there eventually. It's a relatively new thing. But yeah, like when of course, like I worked at IHOP for a few years back in the early 2000s, and then I worked at a Cuban restaurant here in town for like just over a year. They again closed in August of 2008, and they had more mature things there, but I do appreciate the effort, right? And you know what? One of the other things, and we don't talk about this enough. A lot of times when people are building these applications in, for whatever their need is, like this, where did it go? Like this snap your codes thing that we just took a look at, where we dropped in some code and created a screenshot of it. Like that may have just been for the sake of learning how to code something, to learn a programming language, to fill a need. And I love that people are doing that. I love that people are out there coding. I'm actually, now that I look at this, didn't notice that at first. It hasn't been updated in 10 months. It was first updated 2 years ago. It hasn't been touched in 10 months. And that's unfortunate as far as that's concerned. Right, a project for a class, absolutely. Let's see, installation, clone the repository, install the dependencies, doing that or that, and then start the development server with that or that. And then go to your IP address / or port 3000. Yeah, so done in Node or in JavaScript and TypeScript primarily. Looks like primarily TypeScript, CSS, with a little bit of HTML and JavaScript. But it looks really good. Like the layout looked really good. You know, like you can change your padding. Do you want padding visible for the window? The opacity, you can change that a little bit. You can change the background color to whatever you want with some gradients. Like they went through a lot of trouble to build this. Oh, and then like if I wanted to, like this is my, that's my Twitter handle, right? You can say, oh, well, what is this? You know, in this case, it's, do we have, can we, oh, there's JSON right there. So you can actually get highlighting or syntax highlighting, logo, LinkedIn or Twitter. Font family, you can change that. You can change the font weight. Like they put in some effort to that. I think it's really cool. And I love that people who are building these projects are able to share those with the world and have other people take a look at them. And then jerks like me make videos about them sometimes. So yeah, I thought that was really neat. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to look at. Sorry, I get sidetracked. Termix. This is what I wanted to look at. I know you can't see my screen. We'll get there. The other day when we took a look at Termix, right? This is the video that I released Wednesday. When I made this video, in the video, I was star number 71, and as, oh geez, where did it go? There it goes. As a community, we've got that up to 248. In fact, the developer even dropped into the comments and left a comment, answered some comments. So I love that this went from 71 to 248 in just the last few days, because as a community, we're like, hey, we really want this to be a thing. So we're going to support it. And, you know, lots of forks, lots of watches, lots of stars. We've got some issues being posted up here. Yeah, so for suggestions, roles and scoping, RSA private key, file not accepted, OIDC authentication, and suggestions, a colored terminal. So I think all of that's really cool. I love when the community actively gets involved and supports a developer, whatever. I think that's really, really cool. UCI LinkedIn bookmarks, Docker container management script for running multiple instances of LinkedIn. Huh. I didn't know that you would need that. The Docker container management scripts for running multiple LinkedIn bookmark manager includes customizable title, logo, and color theme. I guess if you need to run multiple instances of LinkedIn, this is the way to do that. So good on them for that. I wonder, are they Docker image builder, LinkedIn? Nope, just those two repositories. Huh. Well, cool. Good for them. What else? Oh yeah, if you want to support the newsletter, you can go over there and do that. Latest directory apps. Again, if you're not familiar with what the latest directory apps means, over on the newsletter site, we've also got /apps, and all of the apps in here are listed here. And this page just scrolls forever. So many different apps in here. If you're looking to categorize them or find a specific type, excuse me. Anyway, if you're looking for a specific type of app, you can come over here and you say, look, I'm looking for, we did this last week. We're looking for, thank you, Aruna. If you're looking for something like a wiki, here's a bunch of wiki type of things. Can you sort by newest? That's a good question. Can we just say all local bookmarks, self-host support, about requests, changelog icons? I don't know if you can support by newest. I don't. Oh, sort. Here we go. Default stars, activity alphabetical, recently added age ascending, age descending, and random. So there is an option to sort right there with lots of different options. So hopefully that helps answer your question there, Duke. Is that a... Oh, damn. This is my Schrodinger cup. So on this side, the cat is alive. And if I turn this around, I would do it the other way, but it's really hot still. And on this side, the cat is dead. There we go. But it's a square cup, so you have to drink out of the corner. So it's one of my favorite cups of all time, I think. It's a big cup, it holds a lot of liquid, and it's nice to drink out of. You have to drink from the corner. If you don't drink from like a corner, you're gonna dump it on yourself. If you try to drink it from an edge, you're gonna have a bad time. Yes, Schrodinger's mug, live cat there, dead cat there, little nuclear symbol there. Yeah, I've had this for years. It's starting to show some age. It's starting to get little stress fractures and that sort of thing from being used so much. But may have to replace it at some point. But I've loved that cup for so long. Anyway, yeah. So if you're looking for a new app, if you're looking for an app that does a specific thing like 3D printing, here you go. There are some different 3D printing things. If you're looking for artificial intelligence, AI, cool. There you go. If you're looking for networking, here you go. And you can just kind of dig through there. So that's what's going on there. If you're looking for apps, Ethan's done a really, really good job of building this out and keeping it updated, and all of this. And he's constantly working on some of the organizational stuff with this. I really, really love what he's done here. Also, one other thing that I want to plug real quick. If you're looking for a dashboard or for an app, if you're looking for an icon for your dashboard apps, there we go. There's all the words in most of the right order. Here you can find them. Just go to self-host/icons, or right up here, icons right there. And you can just, again, this is another one. You can just keep scrolling forever. Some of them, if you click them, they've got inverted options. And as somebody pointed out last week in the live stream, you can just toggle that and see all those light icons that way as well. So lots and lots of icons here. Again, you can sort alphabetically, recently added, self-hosted other, or you can just search. Thanks, Collins. Appreciate you sharing that one. But yeah, definitely check those out if you're looking for those things. He's put a lot of effort into those, in addition to keeping us updated with the newsletter every week, and still being a person and having a job and a family and all of that stuff. He puts himself out there to make sure that we're all kept up to date on the most current stuff. So I super appreciate that, and I super appreciate him letting me take over for him while he's busy. So, and podcast. I don't remember when the last January 17th. So yeah, it's been a couple of months since he's been able to do one of these, unfortunately. So in the meantime, you got to put up with me doing them. Directory apps, so many of them in here. Bitwarden portal, automatically backup between hosted and self-hosted Bitwarden. So that's cool. I wonder if that's synchronous. I wonder if it will synchronize back and forth. Automatically backup and restore between Bitwarden and or Vault. Well, there you go. It looks like it'll do both. That's great. I was going to look at this one, this Chiagami. I was going to do that video last week, but then I realized that the video that I had done right before that was Arugo or Iriugo, and it was basically the same app in a different wrapper, and I didn't want those two to be back to back. So, but anyway, that's that. Let's see. Colin says, wait, not sure if it does go back and forth, but it can definitely go self-host to cloud or cloud to self-host. I mean, I would think, I don't know. That's a good question. And I wonder what how it works. Let's see. Source exports the vault in exports the vault in JSON format, encrypts the exported file, deletes the outdated files when retaining recent backups, destination vault cleanup, exports the current content of the destination vault, deletes the folders, items, and attachments, decrypts the latest source vault backup, imports the decrypted backup into the destination vault. So you can run it on a cron schedule. let's see, hold on, let's go back here. The goal of this project was to create a backup process of Bitwarden Vault to a self-hosted Vault Warden instance, ensuring that there's always a copy in case of an official Bitwarden becomes unavailable. The Docker image automates the backup and restore process for a Bitwarden Vault. It provides functionalities for encrypting. So it looks like this only backs up from the hosted to the self-hosted version. Based on what I'm reading here, but you're saying something else. This Docker image automates the backup and restore process of a Bitwarden Vault. It provides functionalities for exporting, encrypting, and managing backup versions. Additionally, the script securely deletes outdated files while maintaining a minimum number of recent backups. Interesting. Cool. Well, then if you say it works that way, this script works for Bitwarden as well as Vault Warden. That's good. Interesting. Well, good. At least it gives you the opportunity to back up. Chiagami, again, we were going to look at that last week, but I realized Erugo was also the video I had done right before that, and I didn't want two of the same apps effectively back-to-back when I was a couple of weeks apart on a video. Container updates, Camellia, unofficial Android client, Oversinker, Recommender, Rotkey, privacy-focused portfolio manager. I'm not in need of a wealth management platform, unfortunately. Scrabble Plex plays to tracked via webhooks. Some of these words that people make up. Self-hosted app that enables Plex, scrobbling, and rating. I don't know what scrobbling is. I feel like such an old person sometimes. Scrobbling refers to the process of automatically recording your music listening habits. Oh, so it just keeps track of your stuff? Huh. Well, there you go. If you want to keep a backup of what you've watched, Scrobblex may be the one you're looking for. Uncloud, lightweight clustering and container orchestration tool, not cool. Maybe it's cool. I don't know. You can go either way with that Bitwarden portal I'm using. It now works real well. It's just slow. The dev is going to make a change to it. Cool. I'm glad they're working on that to make it better. Warwicker, centralized platform for managing product warranties. We talked about that briefly last week, and how buying new stuff with warranties is for rich people. We discussed that a bit. Watch state, sync media plays across Plex, MB, and Jellyfin. Again, another one is I'd like to check out, but I can't trust YouTube. And Woodpecker CI, simple yet powerful CI/CD engine with extensibility. Project updates, Penguin, a reverse proxy. They've got a website now. Let's take a look at that. I don't think I've been there yet. All right. So connect what's isolated, secure access to private networks, no open ports required, install now. Open source, business for organizations requiring extra features, security, and support. Tailored solutions designed for your infrastructure, so you can contact them and get self-hosted on your infrastructure, multi-region deployments, high available and redundant deployments, custom branding, white labeling, access to closed source components, custom features and integrations, and priority support. Cool. If we click install now, it does that, and there we go. Give some prerequisites. So they've got all this built out really, really well. Good for them. Manual, Docker Compose. I appreciate the warning at the top saying, hey, this guide assumes that you already have Linux server with Docker and Docker Compose installed. If you don't, please do. You must have a root access to the server. Cool. And then there's the Docker Compose, all of that. There's our traffic configuration if we need that. If we just run the installer, install, we can just run this. And I know a lot of people are going to be against this, but you can also go in and look at the install file and make sure that you're actually comfortable installing it, which of course I encourage you to do. If we come over to here and take a look at the install file, where did it go? Anyway, you can look at the install file and make sure that you agree with it if you want to just do a quick and easy install. Because doing that, just run the installer there. Because just running that installer like we did in the demo video that I did, it creates the Docker Compose and the traffic configuration and the dynamic config. It creates all of these different files for you and configures them for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. Going through that installation process via the install file or the default install method was super, super easy. They did a really good job of that. So they've got a little tutorial video here from 5 months ago. So there you go. Yeah, so I'm glad they've got a very well documented website now. They did a really good job with that, it looks like. So super happy about that. What was this? That was Pangolin. Plixshare changed their licensing, and TinyAuth also got a website. TinyAuth, a simple way to protect your apps with a login screen. Looks like this one's also written in Go. You can always tell by the Go gopher if something was using Go. That's a very common thing, which I think is kind of an interesting thing that they're doing. I think it's fun. Yeah, TinyAuth is an active development and configuration may change often. Please make sure to read the notes before updating. So yeah, I don't know that this is, again, something I would use, but it is. Yeah, I think the Go gopher is adorable. So do I. I absolutely do. TinyAuth backend, TinyAuth front end, Who Am I, and Traffic. It looks like they're also using Traffic for this. Huh. Although now I want to look at this. Oh, that just adds. It just adds more labels. Interesting. Well, cool. They've also got a website now, so good for them. That's great. Self-hosting guide to alternatives, Pocket and Omnivore. Oh, this is for read later type things. Oh, that's interesting. November of 24. Huh. But yeah, there's alternatives, or self-hosting guide to alternatives. Oh, I gotcha. Cool. Self-hosted dashboard icons, which we took a look at a minute ago. Again, up at the top of the page under icons, you can just click there. Community content, bookmark management with Hoarder. That's great. I actually really dig Hoarder. This person says, I self-hosted my own RSS reader to keep up with the news. Tired of bloated and expensive feed readers. Try self-hosting one instead. We've looked at a few of those. I know that there's some people in the Discord who've got big RSS feeds built that stay very well up to date on a lot of different things. Self-hosting, Android self-hosting Lemmy.world, which I think, isn't Lemmy a Reddit front end? I feel like Lemmy is a Reddit front end. Yeah, Lemmy is a Reddit front end, or a Reddit alternative. Which is it? I don't remember. Lemmy.world. I can never remember. Not a front end. Oh, it's a Fediverse alternative. I couldn't remember. Thank you for clarifying. I couldn't remember which one it was. But because I remember installing it at one point and being like, cool, now what? And it's because I didn't have people contributing. I wasn't contributing. It was just like, here's a page. So Cup, which is container update, can be easily deployed via Docker or as a binary. It's a lightweight platform for monitoring container updates, built for speed and minimal resource requirements that allows users to easily check for container updates from its minimal web interface and or CLI tool, which displays a neat table of results. Wow, that was dumb. Oh, no, sorry, hold on. Sometimes I can see over here, like my live stream stuff that's going on. And sometimes the live stream video that's in the dashboard for YouTube will jump back half an hour and show me doing something that already happened. And it's always confused me. So anyway, yeah, so you can see what has an update available to it. Looks like updates available, up to date, unknown, monitor images. Cool. And then some links to that. What I'm watching, this is the Termex video that I released Wednesday. You can automate your home assistant backup like a pro from everything smart home. Self-host a local AI platform, Olama and Open Web UI from Christian Lampa. Getting started with Home Assistant from Lawrence Systems, and post all of your socials in one place. Automate schedule, AI generate from Postas from Jim's Garage. I actually tried Postas for a while. The thing I hate about it, and it's not Postas' fault, it's getting all of the different APIs from all of the different platforms to work. And like if you're using something like Twitter, If you're a free member, if you're not willing to cough up $8 a month or whatever, you only get one API key or one app, one developer app or whatever. And I'm already using that for the automation system I've already got in place. And I'm still thinking about scrapping that entirely because, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm also having some issues with my Home Assistant that I thought I had fixed, and apparently I don't. I've been having issues with Govee specifically. Let me actually see if I can pull this up. So if I go to Home, let me do this. 3.32, right? There we go. So I just wanted to log in here. So this is my current Home Assistant setup. And if I come over to settings and I go to, where did it go? Logs over here. Govee, rate limited, 10,000 requests per hour. Message first occurred at 3:53 a.m. And has been shown 4,200 times. So I thought I had this fixed. I apologize if you can't see that, but yeah, like it's rate limiting me. And at first I thought, oh, well, it's because I screwed up, because I did. Like if I go into devices and services and I go over here to Govee, right here I can see there's my 10 devices. And if I click configure, I'm going to delete that real quick because I'm going to have to get a new one anyway. Like even setting my polling interval to 90, that should be like 90 seconds, I believe. It's still doing too much. I've got 10 devices. As we can see here, I would think 10 devices polling every 90 seconds shouldn't freak out, but it does for whatever reason, and I don't understand why. So I'm very, very tempted to just get completely away from Govee, because a lot of their stuff still requires internet, even though it's self-hosted. There are some devices that I've got from Govee that are not, that don't require an internet to use the integration here, but others do. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to which devices they pick that don't need an internet connection to work. But the API has been rate limiting me for like a week. And originally it's because I had the polling set to like 10, and then I was getting rate limited, and I was like, oh well, then I'll just switch it to 6, because in my brain I was doing the math backwards, and I was like, oh, it'll only poll 6 times a minute, not poll every 6 seconds. So yeah, it was really disappointing to do that. Like, yeah, you put in your API, and the poll interval is every 10 seconds in this case, and I've got it set to 90, and that's just not enough. So maybe when I changed the polling, I didn't tell it to like reboot. I guess, I don't know. But I think what I'm going to do is go back to here, devices and services. I'm going to go into Govee, and I'm going to just disable it for right now, and then I'll have to restart Home Assistant, system, come over to here and click reload. There we go. So I need to do that. I need to clean up my Home Assistant quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff in here that I just don't care about. Like I don't necessarily care to, like if we look at my devices and services, Elgato is fine, Roku is fine. My Google SDK is fine. I need to get that better integrated into here, but I know for that I need to use Nabu Casa, Hacks, Supervisor, fine. HomeKit, because it's looking for some stuff. Give Govee LAN a try. Yeah, the problem is, again, that only certain apps work with Govee LAN. Chubby Puppy Bear, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Govee, is Govee LAN in Hacks, I guess is the next question. 7 services. Yeah, Govee, there we go. Yeah. It's disabled entry pre-release, automations, add to dashboard, Hacks, 7 services. But even in here, when I go into Govee, it doesn't really give me a chance to do anything. Area, bubble, enable services, script scenes, automations. This doesn't tell me anything. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why Let's look at Govee here. Govee LAN control, which is right here. Let's take a look at this. Before you get too invested in Govee LAN, I wanted to note that I've shifted to the Govee 2 MQTT add-on. This has a support for new API and devices more flexible than the Govee LAN has. Note that due to how Govee LAN API works, you cannot run both the add-on and the integration at the same time. This works in conjunction with Govee Python library to provide Govee control over Govee manufactured lights for local control. So, but then my question ends up being like, does this, like, because a lot of these require the internet to do their thing. Will this then, because there's like, I've got Govee set up on my phone, and that's how I connected. Try install Spook. I've got Spook installed, and I've never understood how to use it. And it's like I don't know enough about what I don't know enough about. Like here is Spook, 3 devices, Home Assistant, Cloud, and repairs. Discover the most errors. Home Assistant, configuration, reload, restart. So I don't know what the issue. I don't know how to use this. I was told by somebody to install it, and I've got it installed. 5 issues, diagnostic, 5 issues. But it doesn't tell me what the issues are. Collins, dude, thank you so much for gifting 5 donation or 5 memberships. I do appreciate that. Logbook, show more. No logbook events found. So it's saying that there are issues, but it doesn't tell me what those issues are. So I've kind of found it not useful. Repairs, show more. I guess maybe I'll add it to my dashboard. Hold on. Let me see. Where can I add this? Home. Overview. Man. Home. Guess we'll add it to that one. We'll add it to that one and see what happens. We'll add dashboard. Oh, that's not helpful. We'll add it to that one, I guess. Home. Next. Repairs. Cool. Now that doesn't tell me anything either. Home. Nope, of course. It's under here. New section. Entity not available. The 2 errors were for lamps that are no longer available. So I'm apparently not using Spook correctly. I don't understand how to use Spook because when I try to use it, it doesn't give me any useful information. It just says, yep, there are some issues. There are some errors. Best of luck. Add hub. Yeah, well, no. Okay, thanks. Bye. Neat. That's great. Devices, Home Assistant, air quality areas, automations, binary sensors, buttons. This doesn't help at all. So yeah, like I almost feel like what I need to do is just entirely scrap this instance of Home Assistant and rebuild it, because I've moved it around a bunch. I've added some stuff. I've removed some stuff. Like I don't care to have. That's the TV. Like I don't care about the YouTube integration. I don't care about the studio integration here. Like I've got a bunch of stuff in here disabled. You need to unignore all, then get the error in your unignore all. Unignore all where? No, not there. Devices, Spook. I don't know what you mean by unignore all. That I feel like that's a vague. System options, enable new entities, enable polling for changes. Up at the top of settings. So settings. Up at the top of settings. Yeah, okay, so here's settings. I'm up at the top. Show all repairs. Show ignored repairs. Show ignored repairs. So 4 months ago and 4 days ago and 3 days ago, like this is so then unignore. so I know why this is like this isn't even plugged in anymore. Unknown entities. Wait, what? Spook things show up here. So is this what I'm looking at here? This is spook things. Oh, spook your homie. Okay, so spook. Okay, so this is stuff from, but this is not from spook. Spook. Well, spook is finding some of these, like unknown TV playing. Spook is telling me that, but it's not telling me that. So like I really feel like there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'm kind of at the point where I just need to rebuild from scratch. I don't know that this is going to be super useful as it currently stands, because I've just got so many different things in here that are irrelevant anymore. Like I don't need to have this in there. I don't need this. I don't need radio browser. I don't need this. I don't need YouTube. I don't need like there's a bunch of the stuff I don't need. Like there's disabled. Like I don't need Synology in here. There's just a bunch of stuff in here that I don't need anymore. And it just seems like the longer I keep trying to remove stuff and add stuff, it just keeps getting more and more convoluted. And I keep getting, like on the overview, like all of this. Yeah, and of course I'm not going to get stuff for like this one and these because I just disabled Govee. Same thing with the lamp over there and the light strips. Those are all Govee. The bedroom lamps, those are Govee. So that's why it's throwing those errors. But it's just there's so much garbage in here that it's so hard to even know where to go. Tanmay says hello. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. But like key light left and right, these just kind of randomly pop in and out, but they're both on. Like they're both doing their thing. But well, and that's just it, right? Like if I go in, it's not file editor, into like I don't mind rebuilding the automations, right? Like it looks like I've got a lot in here, but like some of this is disabled, like backyard light LEDs off. That needs to be completely rebuilt. So both of those backyard light things can be done. This I need to rebuild anyway. I was talking to my wife about this. Bedroom LEDs on. So like when we go in, okay, so the way this has been working for a while, like when we're in daylight savings time, it gets dark really, really early in Colorado, like 4:30, it's dark. So I had it set up so that our bedroom lights the lamps above our bed would automatically turn on at sundown, at whatever, right? So at least we'd have some light going in there because we don't have overhead lights in bedrooms here in Colorado for some, not at least in any of the places I've lived, no overhead lights in the bedrooms for some stupid reason. So I set up this automation to at sunset turn those lights on, and then like the bedroom LEDs on. Like when I turn the TV on, the LED lights in the bedroom also come on because I was learning automations and that sort of thing. And then the bedroom lights on at sunset, and then at 8:30, at 8 o'clock, everything dims to a much more like calming level. It's not all like super bright, but it's bright enough. 8 o'clock things dim. 8:30, the lamps turn off. The LEDs dim even farther. So that's how it's been set up. I need to rebuild a lot of that. TV bedroom off. So at like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, the bedroom TV automatically turns off if we haven't already. When that happens, the LEDs also turn off. Front porch off at sunrise, on at sunset. Turn the TV's kit off automatically. Turn his light on automatically. I thought I actually turned that off because again, it's not a big deal now. O2 on and off. That's for my oxygen machine for my sleep apnea mask. My sleep doctor wants me on oxygen at night. Plant lights on and off. That one's not a big deal. And then all of this studio presence stuff needs to get rebuilt anyway. So like it looks like a bit, but it's really not. It's not all that complicated. Like all of these studio presence things rely on. I don't know if you can. Oh, you can't see it. I've got an Aqara presence sensor up here that like when somebody just walks through, as soon as it detects somebody, it will turn on, I think, the light, the overhead light that you can't see here. But if you're in here for more than 30 seconds, then everything else is supposed to come on. But I rebuilt my entire network recently, and all of the IP addresses are wrong, and everything in here is wrong, and my present sensor lost connection, and so I just need to rebuild everything from the ground up anyway, I think. So I might export a backup of all of this and then just scrap it and start over, because it's so much that I feel like it would just be easier to rebuild from the ground up, just because of all of that. Yeah, it sounds like a rebuild is the way to go. I agree. I'm also in the process of, but having the backup would be a good idea as well. Yeah. What I will probably do is shut down this VM and then start up a new VM or whatever. I don't remember how it's actually built, and I don't know if it's here. No. HL15. So I guess while we're here, I can also do this. Root. Yes, I know. So Home Assistant is running in a VM. And if I come over here, it's 8 gigs of RAM. I used the helper script to create the, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I did here. Yeah, Proxmox helper scripts. That's what I did there. I'm also in the process of migrating a bunch of stuff off of the HL15, which we can see here, over to my Prox Cube, which is Proxmox installed on the Zima Cube that I've got down there. I've already got Plex on there, and I've got all of this stuff. I've got 13-foot ladder, Dumpad, HedgeDoc, DBTech reviews, AdGuard, speed test, video vote, Ansible support, and Ansible semaphore. I need to rebuild some of this stuff in here as well. But I've moved a bunch of this stuff over from the HL15. But then I ran into the situation where, if we take a look here, I've only got 32 gigs of RAM in there. So I need to build up. I need to put more RAM in here. I found a 64 gig kit that I think will work. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that here in the next little bit. I'm waiting on a payment from a thing I did recently with Twingate. I'm actually they decided to sponsor a dedicated video as well. So there is going to be a follow-up dedicated video for Twingate to go along with the live stream we did a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, so anyway, in the process of trying to move everything, I realized I was running out of RAM on this. So I need to upgrade the RAM in this before I move anything else. So dumb as it is, I'm gonna have half my lab running on the Zima Cube, and the other half running on the HL15. To answer the question from Duke Seb and James Collins, I don't know what I'm doing it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the HL15. I don't expect that I'm going to be getting rid of it, just because it's still got some sentimental value to me, because what they sent me was a fairly significant thing. It is worth probably twice what my car is. So the likelihood of me getting rid of it is probably pretty low. But since we've been talking about the Zima Cube a little bit, there's a couple other things that I want to talk about. The other day, I'm actually going to switch you over to here so that I can take a look in my email. Oops, darn it, I did that wrong. Stop. We're going to talk about this. And I want to preface the next part of this live stream with, I'm not trying to call out any organizations. It's just an observation that I had that was then kind of somebody else also made a similar observation, but they've actually got some more ways to talk about this. Can I pop this out? I can. All right. I'm gonna close. Oops, I'm gonna move this over to here. Give me just a second, guys. We're gonna do this. There we go. Oh, dang it! I was afraid that was gonna happen. Okay, let me try that again. Let me pop this out and then minimize this. Here we go. So yesterday morning, Friday, March 14th, at 11:15 a.m. I got this email from Harbor Innovations. I have never heard of Harbor Innovations. I've no idea who they are. I've never heard of them. Like, their product looks okay, but I've never heard of them. I did not sign up for this newsletter. So when I got down here, I clicked the unsubscribe button and I clicked, I didn't sign up for this. And then I just left it at that. Like, I unsubscribed. I marked it as like, I didn't sign up for this. This is effectively spam. So then, let's pop this open and go over to here. And then we're going to go over to here. Then I found this post from ZoopDude over on Reddit saying, a while back I registered for the ZimaBoard mailing list and have happily received infrequent updates on Icewell technology and ZimaBoard. I use a different email alias for every website to track where my email gets passed and for keeping my inbox tidy with rules. I wish I had that kind of patience. Today, I received an email on my ZimaBoard alias from Harbor Innovations, which, as far as I can see, have no connections to Icewell technology, leading to my assumption that they must have sold customers' email addresses. Pretty disappointing from Icewell, but unfortunately not totally surprising. When I saw this, like when I saw the title, I was like, holy crap, is that what happened? Especially when they mentioned specifically Harbor Innovations, because I have never heard of Harbor Innovations, and neither has this person. So it looks like Harbor Innovations sent an email to this person's ZimaBoard alias, which means that it's entirely possible that the folks at Icewell are selling or leasing email lists of their customers and people who have signed up for updates to third-party providers. And that, while I know that this is a fairly standard thing that happens in the world of online, it's still super frustrating. Like, Icewell, relies on a relatively small user base to be their customer, to be their community, to be their, their bread and butter, right? And for them to do that is frustrating. It absolutely is. Get Reckles says, besides them being aware and selling, third option is that maybe their database leaked from emails. That's possible. It is absolutely possible. But we're gonna come back to that idea, right? So, so then we scroll down a little bit. This person said, yep, same thing. Charlie says, I got the same email, and all they've done is ensure that I will not purchase another product from them or product from this other company. Will it do anything? Probably not, but I'll do it anyway on principle. I kind of agree with that. So here's where I jumped in and I said, hey, look, I've reached out to the founder of Icewell because I'm concerned that that's what they've done. I'm concerned that they have sold, leased, or rented. Oops, damn, can't see my screen, right? My apologies. Aggravated Tackle 90 says, yep, same. Charlie 2291 or 911 says, I got the same email, right? I've just read this to you. I reached out to the founder of Icewell about this, and I'm waiting on a reply. ZoopDude OP says, please share when or if you get a response. So let me put up my face for a minute here so I can do this. So yesterday, as I mentioned, I think all of this is fine. I don't care if you see all of this, but here's how we're going to do this, right? So the email that I sent is right here. Let's make this a little bigger so it's easier for you guys to read. Oops, darn it. Said, hi, I'm writing to inquire about Icewell's practices regarding the sharing or selling of email lists to third-party companies for marketing purposes. This morning, I received an unsolicited marketing email from Harbor Innovations. I never subscribed to their mailing list and was unfamiliar with their company. Later, I found a post on Reddit where another individual reported a similar experience. This person uses unique email aliases to track where their email addresses are being used. They discovered that same email alias they used to subscribe to Icewell emails was also the one that received the unsolicited unsolicited email from Harbor Innovations. This evidence strongly suggests that Icewhale may be sharing or selling email addresses to companies like Harbor Innovations. I would appreciate it if you could clarify Icewhale's policies on email list sharing and confirm whether or not my email address and potentially others were provided to Harbor Innovations or third-party marketing companies. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. That's the email that I sent. I actually had AI write a big chunk of that because sometimes I'm lazy. So I sent that at 1:06 p.m. yesterday. And I've got, I use Streak for tracking my emails. And I can see that this email was opened one time yesterday in Hong Kong. In fact, if I hover over right here, Hong Kong, March 14th at 1:25. So 11 minutes after I sent that email, whoever has access to Lauren's email address opened and read my email. So I know that they have seen my email. There's no doubting that. There's no second guessing whether or not they have seen my email. The location lines up, the timing lines up, everything here lines up. So I'm waiting to hear back from the founder of Icewhale to find out whether or not they're selling, leasing, or renting their email list for marketing purposes to supplement their income. I'm trying to find out more information about that. But we're gonna come back over here to Reddit here real quick, and we're gonna look at my desktop. There we go. I often do the same thing, making unique email addresses to track where it ends up. To be honest, I'm not surprised if this is the case. That's the world we live in. I agree, and that sucks. A similar thing happened to me. Minis Forum, a mini PC manufacturer, seems to have sold my email to Harbor Innovation, who sent me an email about their e-paper tablet. I guess we can't expect companies like these to have ethical standards. I don't know if ethical standards are the issue here. I got an email from Harbor Innovations as well. Didn't use an alias, but I'm so sad to see this happen. Came back to Reddit from a hiatus just to complain about this, and you beat me to it. Already wiped my Zima OS partition. Nice to know that there's other people keeping tab on who's using their emails. I sometimes worry that people think I'm paranoid, to which they responded, no way. I like to know who's selling my information. So I'm disappointed to see this kind of thing happening. But where did it go? There's actually more in here. And then Duke said, yeah, we'll come back to your question there. So coming back to the comment I left saying, hey, I've reached out to the founder. And they said, hey, please share when if you get an answer. Right. So I've actually been working with them for a while. And I was trying to be transparent here. Like I've been working with them for a while to promote their products and that sort of thing. And I was like, but because it's Friday and because they're in China, I'm not sure when I'll get a response. But as soon as I have one, I'll share. To which somebody else responded, hey, can you ask why my ZimaCube Pro, which I have no apps on and I'm only using as an NAS at home, is sending gigabytes of traffic to various services I'm not using like BitTorrent, Let's Encrypt, Zero Tier, GitHub, Stun, and more. I actually blocked it from outside traffic and is starting to run its fans at 100%, then started randomly shutting down. For the record, I was sent this device to review, and it came this way out of the box. I hope that is not what's actually happening there. But I said, unfortunately, there isn't much I can do about that. I would encourage you, if you can, to do a fresh install of the OS. I've also got a cube that was sent to me for review, and I just ended up putting Proxmox on it for my setup. Is that correct? I'm curious. Yeah, that's the one, Duke. So we're going to come back to that. Anyway, so I saw this. I reached out to the founder. I'm waiting to hear back. I know that they have seen my email. I'm waiting to hear back from them on that. With regards to Streak, Streak is a CRM application that ties into Gmail very easily. That's how I'm using it here. And I can go in and I can view when an email was recently viewed. I can see how long ago it was viewed, that sort of thing. I can tell if they've clicked on any links. I can tell how many times they've opened my emails, that sort of thing. Now, there are also pixel blockers that you can install as a Chrome extension that will keep these things from working. I actually had one installed for a while, and then it got removed for some reason. Oops, wrong one. So so that's what I use. I use Streak CRM, or like, thank you, Collins, for sharing that, to just keep track of when my emails get opened, so that I know that I'm not being ghosted or whatever most of the time. Also, if I send an email, like a support email to somebody or to a company or whatever, I can often, depending on the platform they use, I can see how many times they've looked at my email since I sent it, to make sure that it's actually being addressed in a timely fashion. Aruna asks a good question, saying, I wonder if they sold email addresses of anyone in the EU, as that would be against GDPR. I don't know if GDPR applies in China. Does GDPR apply in China? No. And there's the problem right there. No, the GDPR does not apply in China. China has its own comprehensive data protection law, the Personal Protection Law, or PIPL, which is similar in many ways to GDPR, but has its own unique requirements. So then there's some comparisons here, but China does things China's way. Technically, it's supposed to apply to anyone that does business in the EU. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be loopholes with something like that. Yeah, GDPR applies to citizens of the EU. So if data of an EU citizen was sold, and not that anyone in China cares. And that's just it. Like their copyright protection, their trademark protection, all of those different things in China don't apply in China to Chinese companies the way it does anywhere else. They just kind of do what they want to do. China doesn't follow any laws outside of China. There you go. Yep, you're all 100% right. It's nearly impossible to litigate against Chinese-based companies, or impossible. Yeah, it absolutely is, because screw you. Like, that's why. They just do their thing. They are their own sovereign nation, and they can technically do whatever they want within the boundaries of their country, as long as it doesn't violate any of the treaties or any of the things that they've actually done that are global. Whereas GDPR, I don't think applies anywhere other than to citizens or companies within the EU. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where things are with that. I wanted to bring that up with regards to Ice Whale, Zima Cube, Zima Board, Zima Blade, whatever. I've just put Proxmox on my Zima Cube, and it's working fine. But again, I need to put some more RAM in here because I'm almost out. I'm sitting here idling at 20. Oh, I'm on the wrong system there. 27 and a half of the 31 gigs available. FreeOS isn't really free, is it? Right? And I'm really curious to hear their response. I am too. If I don't hear from the founder here soon, I'm going to reach out to some other people, like their marketing department, and some of the other people that I've chatted with from Ice Whale, just to see, because I would hate to think that they're using their software to collect data on us. That would cause me a lot of disillusionment. It would really bum me out quite a bit, if I'm being honest. So I ended up just installing Proxmox on here, and I uninstalled it. I had Proxmox Data Center on here to migrate some things from one place to another, but yeah, so it's hard to say. Zero Linux says, same issue here, searching and a few other services. I use eating memory for lunch and dinner. Yeah, and that's why I've got all of my stuff segregated out here like this, like Manyfold, 13-foot ladder, dump pad. All of these are in their own separate thing, and then each one gets an allocation. 13-foot does not need that much RAM. Holy crap. How did I end up doing that? That should be like 512 megs. 512. If that changes, I'll adjust. But yeah, I don't need that. But yeah, each one of these is limited to, 512 megs, 2 gigs. That's because it's a WordPress site. I don't even know. Summary. Yeah, I could cut that in half. I'd probably be fine on a gig. I can probably release some of that. Oops. So let's fix some of this and see. Oops. 1024. Let's drop some of these down and see what it does. AdGuard home, 512 megs, fine. Speed test, fine. Video boat, fine. Those, fine. Plex has got 8 gigs roughly. Data center summary. It may take a while for those. I may need to like restart them. What's that one? And that one. We'll just reboot both of those and see what happens. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that I've got all of this stuff set aside the way I do. And I also set up my my ARC. Where is it? That's all IP tagging. Oh, my ARC stat, yeah. So I set up my ARC thing for ZFS recently, just because I had some things running away from me because of the amount of storage that I've got in here. Like I've got, that doesn't seem right, but maybe it is. Storage. Anyway, so yeah, it was using a lot of RAM, so I kind of dumped some of that down. LSPCI. Oh yeah, right. Thank you. Let's come over here. Let's take a look. LSPCI. Oh no, that doesn't. That's LSBLK. That's what I wanted. But here we can see some NVMe drives. Some more NVMe drives. Yeah, so just some 8 terabyte drives, some 6 terabyte drives, all kind of conglomerated together. And really, even that's ridiculous because I'm only using, click like you mean it. Yeah, I'm using less than a terabyte of all of that. So anyway, yeah, I definitely need to double my RAM. I found some in here that I want to use, over on Amazon. And one of these days I'll buy it. It was like $100 for 64 gigs of RAM to throw in here. And I think that would be perfectly acceptable for what I need to do with this. But until I do that, I've got to have this and this set up because I've still got a couple of VMs over here. That's another like 12 gigs, and then all of these another 3 or 4 gigs. So I've got like 15 or 16 more gigs worth of stuff that I need to move over as far as RAM is concerned. So one of these days I'll get all that completed and we'll be good to go. I guess the last thing that I really wanted to look at here was WAGMI. We talked about WAGMI a little bit last week. And it's like this dashboard with Willow for AI, and it's got all this stuff in here, and there's got this marketplace, and you can install stuff, right? And is there anything similar to Streak? But Streak is free. Like I've never paid for Streak. Hold on, let's do Google Chrome Store. Come here, there we go. Streak CRM for Gmail. Yeah, this is actually, here, I'll share this in both. Share that there, and then I'll share that there just in case. Yeah, so I use Streak CRM for Gmail. That's what I've got installed in my browser that lets me do all of my tracking and that sort of thing. The setup process isn't terrible, but it will try to prompt you to use it for everything. And all I want it for is tracking my emails, and that's it. So yeah, that's what's going on there. If you want to check it out, I shared a link in both platforms. So anyway, right? So we've got this marketplace here where you can do stuff, and it's fine. So if I come over here to WAGMI OS, go to console, you get logged in. And I don't know that they're actually promoting their app or their Gmail specific Chrome extension I don't know how they're promoting that. So let's, oops, I also need to know what port that's on. Oops, let's move this over here. Docker PS, it's on. Screw it, I guess we'll just do it this way. Oops, 9443. So we'll close all of that. Come over to here. WAGMI OS backend has stopped running. Start, that's fine. This should throw a, yep, 404 not found. Okay, so here we go. Here's WAGMI OS, right? And it's got CPU usage, and it's got memory usage, and this is actually on the host. So disk usage, great, right? All of this looks fine. If you click here, this is just for bookmarks. So you can create your own bookmark and have, have some different icons next to it. So this first part of the dashboard is just for the sake of having a bookmark, setup, right? And then down here we've got containers. We can see what containers are running. I don't know if there is for Firefox or any of its stuff either. And here we can see the different containers that are running in this LXC. And we can click add a container and we can build it out this way, or we can use a template or select a template. That's not helpful. Or you can save it as a template. All right, fine. But if we click back, there we go. Down here, there's this marketplace. And I was like, cool, there's some stuff in here that should just work. So if I come over to here and I click on, let's say like SyncThing, we'll click install. Up here it says installing SyncThing. And it spins and it spins and it spins and it says it was successfully installed. Cool. Did it? Did it? Portainer, Postgres, WAGMI, Willow, SyncThing. Okay, so SyncThing did install, but it didn't, it's not, why didn't it add it to my dashboard? Right? Like I don't understand. So you've got this animation thing back here that looks really neat, no argument. But then if I click here, let's say I wanted to install Uptime Kuma. I like Uptime Kuma. Okay, installation failed. Failed to run container. Exit status 125. Command output Docker. Error response from daemon. Invalid container name. Uptime Kuma only A through Z. No spaces, basically, because the container name that it's trying to give it has a space. So it won't install that. It won't install Home Assistant for the same reason, because there's a space in the name. The way it's translating it from the name of the application into the container name keeps the space in there rather than sanitizing it and underscoring it, dashing it, removing the space entirely. Because Home Assistant is 2 words, it's not going to install. It's going to throw that same error here in a moment. Right? Colin says that's all it would take for me to move on. Right? Yeah. So that's kind of what happened to me yesterday when I was messing with this. Right? It says now installing Home. It's still installing. It's still doing something, and the Docker marketplace is still spinning, but it's not giving me any information about what's going on. It's not telling me what it's doing. If this focus for, right? Yeah, if it's meant for that, then you're absolutely right, because it's just like, cool. So if I close this, right, screw it, I'm done. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Come over here. There's SyncThing. This Willow app that they push so hard in here. Willow is an AI-powered agent designed to streamline container management. She acts as an oracle guiding you through the container setup and integrations. Cool, because really, Willow, if we come back over to here, oops, if I find WAGMI, Willow is just N8N. I don't know if you can see that. Willow is just N8N. I don't know what else they've done there. Let's click on edit. There's nothing else in here. Yeah, now what do I do, right? This doesn't tell me anything. If this is just N8N, then don't call it Willow. It's not Willow, it's N8N, right? And it's like I don't understand who their target is. So again, there's all of these different things in here that you can install. Like let's try Portainer. Let's see what happens here. Like Portainer is a relatively simple thing to install. And it's super frustrating. I have a question. So if you have a choice for stability and speed, you have a system with 2 NVMe and 4 SATA connections, which way do you install Proxmox? I would absolutely put the M.2s for the operating system. 25 days ago. Personal dashboard. Great. I'll make some more detailed posts going forward, but it's a self-hosted OS like Umbrel or Casa. It's not, though. It's not an OS. It's a Docker container with a nice skin. That's basically trying to be Portainer, right? That was already running, so it's going to fail out. Yeah, because it's already allocated. So, but sure, let's try Vault Warden. Let's see what happens when I try to. So it's just like Casa OS, or it's just like using something like that, where it's a pre-built dashboard that has a marketplace built into it. But it's not, right? It's not. Because of something that I read over on there. I say it's a market or a dashboard with a marketplace, which is technically true. Okay, so here it says, it said that it was that Vault Warden was successfully installed. Cool, Vault Warden right there. It's starting. Great. But again, it's not putting anything here on my dashboard. It's not giving me any indicators until I come over to here. Like I feel like there needs to be, and again, like, okay, great. So now it said it's got Vault Warden installed. If I click edit, there's nothing here to edit. It's not letting me edit the container. It's editing something blank. It's not editing anything, even though I clicked edit next to Vault Warden. What are we doing here? Okay, so this is a dashboard. I can't even edit that. So this is a dashboard with a marketplace installed, right? Marketplace, we agree. If we come up to here and we go to issues, and it says marketplace is not loading. And then it says fresh install and I discovered from self-hosted site. Cool, so did I. Upon clicking marketplace, there's no activity other than the spinner. Unfortunately, logs don't indicate what's happening unless there's a debug I can enable for this help. Editing this to add another shot using a different browser, Vivaldi, and revealed it a bit more, hoping this may be of more assistance. Cool. Thanks for reaching out. What is your setup? I want to see if I can simulate it. The marketplace refers to a JSON file from another repository. I think this may be a CORS issue. It seems like it's trying to fetch the wrong file. So this dashboard, this WAGME dashboard, is a dashboard with some nice widgets across the top that gives you the ability to add bookmarks, is reliant on somebody else's marketplace, and is calling their AI assistant Willow when it's just N8N. Colin says this is just some things that's got a good concept, but it's not there yet. It needs time. It just needs user experience testing. It also needs to not be reliant on someone else's or somebody else's JSON repository or app store. Like, I don't know where that JSON file is being pulled from, but it feels like they're just using a lot of words to. I wonder. Yeah, this doesn't show me anything. But it's not just there's missing before they can be. Yeah. It's misrepresenting what it is. It's misrepresenting what it does. It misrepresents it's in like the whole thing is misrepresentative based on what I can see here. Even going over to this, it's a self-hosted OS. Nope, it's a Docker container, kind of like Umbrel or Casa OS, which are both Docker containers. Manage your containers and soon manage an AI agent that can do a lot of different functions. So this, yeah, you don't compile your own kernel, you don't build your own software repo. It's just a web interface wrapper to run containers. Sure, it's not a traditional OS in the sense of compiling a kernel. It's just designed to be an easy self-hosted environment. The goal is giving users an easier way to run and manage their own infrastructure. People don't like that answer, right? Like, unless you lock down the whole system, user will run into problems that don't know what to do. For example, VPN software is often needed to add net filter rules, which often break Docker bridge network. Already have it covered there. Cool. Gluten is integrated to properly manage VPN connections. But there's so much documentation missing. There's so much misrepresentation in here. There's so much. Look, and I'm not trying to blame Ethan here at all, right? I'm blaming the real Mike Jeezy or Geezy or whatever for. Look, I understand this is early development, but WAGMI containerized. This is version 2. So I feel like, oops, sorry, desktop. WAGMI OS version 2. So I feel like this still needs to be 0 dot something, not version 2. This isn't production. This is still beta. This should not be version 2. I'm not great with understanding how versioning works, but once you hit v1.x, you're out of beta. And this is missing so many features that it claims to have. This is saying, hey, there's so many of these different things coming. I don't feel like this should be a version 2. I feel like this should still be a version 0.x. Just and again, like you can't install apps that have name or have spaces in the name because there's no sanitization of the naming convention that's dropping into the Docker Compose that's being deployed. Again, going over here, this doesn't tell me anything until I click it and it's like, oh, it's a bookmark. And clicking on the actual containers that are already installed, if I click edit on one of these, I'm not editing the container it says I should be editing. I feel like this is missing the mark and needs to. I need to get away from it because I'm getting frustrated and I don't want to do that. So, let's see. This isn't towards right. Yeah, this is not even a V1, barely alpha. It seems to me that if you start a project, you should do all of the stuff in-house and not relying on other sources for the work. Exactly. That's exactly it. Because if that upstream developer with a JSON file that is the marketplace changes something like it looks like they did, it's going to break your entire interface. It's going to completely break everything because the way they changed their thing upstream, you didn't compensate for. So now anybody trying to use WAGMI OS is unable to use WAGMI OS because of something that you don't have control over. Like, if you're going to do that, cool, then fork that repository so that you maintain control of a version of it, and then use your forked version of it. Don't use the upstream from another developer. It's really, really frustrating to see what's gone on here, what's happened, where they're so reliant on somebody else's work that person changing their work has broken this. Yeah, all of those external dependencies must be documented so your users know. Yep. No. We do not want you to get frustrated. It's relying on an outside service, not in-house forking is the best. Yep. So, I don't know. It's just I was really, really disappointed when I saw that because like I feel like Colin said, it's a cool idea. But it's right now it's currently built on hopes and dreams, and it's built on promises that we don't know if the developer can actually fulfill on. Like if he can't fork a repository, if he doesn't understand forking the upstream repositories to maintain version access or version control, then I don't have any confidence that this AI assistant is actually going to do anything. We need a Git class with good ethics and format. Yep, I agree. Unfortunately, I'm not that guy. Git, I can use Git a little bit, but when it comes to like forking and merging and all of that stuff, that is way outside my comfort level. But there are just so many, things here that are just future maybe promises. And where is that AI coming from? What control do I as the user have over that AI, right? But that's just it. He came like all the way through this, right? There's this push on Willow, right? Willow right here, and there's this anime girl. Willow is an AI-powered agent designed to streamline container management, but it's not. Willow is just N8N, like right here. Willow is just N8N. That's just an automation platform. That's not its own separate thing. That is not Willow. That's an automation platform that was built by somebody else. It looks like an AI that's word salad for clicks, right? And I don't mean to dog on this guy. I don't mean to be disrespectful or whatever, but there's a lot of things that are misnamed, that are misrepresented in this that I just can't get behind. And it's really sad because, again, like Colin said, it's a cool idea, it's a cool concept, it's a cool thing, but it's not there yet. And I feel like it's predicated on a lot of future maybes. So Aruna says Git should be called It because it's so frustrating to use. Yeah, it's like, look, when I went to school for like networking and that sort of thing, Git wasn't a thing. This was like 2002, or I wasn't aware of it way back then. And like my brother-in-law recently got a degree in something programming related, and they deliberately didn't teach Git. They didn't teach versioning. They didn't teach any of that Git stuff because they were too concerned about users or students cheating. So they didn't teach Git. When they were teaching programming, let me rephrase that. When they were teaching a computer programming degree, they didn't teach versioning or Git. And that blows my brain. Like, how are you going to not teach versioning and Git if you're teaching people how to program or to use computer programming? It blew my mind. A new user would see this, tries to think it's off himself, obviously, because they had a bad first experience. Yeah. I'm old enough to have worked with SafeSource. I don't remember what SafeSource. It's not ringing any bells. Well, now, that's SafeSource Direct. SafeSource LLC. That version of SafeSource must not exist anymore. Versioning. Yeah, source safe. Thank you. You're right. I did that backwards. You can't even see my screen, but you heard me say it. How to manage. So, that's from Microsoft Visual SafeSource. Wow. Is a discontinued source control program primarily used for managing small software development projects that allows users to track and manage different versions of their... Yeah, so it's like an old version of Git. Yeah. But anyway, that's my rant. That's my rant about WagMeOS. I was just really disappointed that there was a lot of word salad in there that didn't actually amount to anything. That was like, stuff's coming soon. So I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Menthol Mike proves me wrong and builds out the best thing ever. I genuinely do hope that, because we always need different things out there to use, because people have different ways of doing things or wanting to do things. And if they can incorporate a decent AI program into it, hopefully one that can be self-hosted, that would be amazing. I also agree with what Thomas just said there, that having any type of AI would cause a huge overhead. It absolutely could. It absolutely could. So I'd be curious to see what the actual goal is with that. Because again, I'd love to have something like that in there that can help me fix things or recognize issues or provide ways to fix the dumb things that I have done. But I don't think it's going to be all that feasible, at least in the near future. So, itch. But yeah, so I think that's all I had, man. Almost 3 hours. Holy crap. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's bonkers. I didn't realize it had been that long. But you can see I've got my time up there still. So one of the things I did, 8, there we go. Hey, it's 13:37. It is. That's a good catch. So one of the things I did recently, because I wasn't sure if I was going to remember to put the clock up there, I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion recently. I just started playing that again. I finished Watch Dogs 2 in San Francisco and really enjoyed that. But then I remember a conversation we had a couple of weeks ago about putting the time up here so that people can see what time it is for me, so that they can adjust their watch times based on what time it is for me, and they can do the math. Let me see if I can spin through this. Yeah, that's that. That's Twitch subscribers. And there's time. I also added this. Maybe if it's going to do next. Why? Next asset. Really? Really? Why aren't we going to do next asset? Oh, it's really going to be like that. You suck. Hopefully then after this, it will share the next asset. Anyway, I've got this, there it is, the video loading screen from Watch Dogs Legion up there, because I wanted to have something there to be like, hey, because it's flashy, it's flickery, and I wanted to have something there to use as a visual cue for me to remember to put the clock back in. But I don't think I need it, since I remembered to put the clock back in, so I can just disable that. And then it'll go on to the next thing here in a little bit. I'll just click through it. There it is. So anyway, I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion a little bit. It's been a long time since I played it. But so early there, 16:30. Yeah. Yep. It's only 13:30 here. But yeah. So anyway, but if you're not familiar with what I'm using for that, if you haven't seen Antheus, this is it. It's just running on a Raspberry Pi, and I can upload assets. Like I've got all of these different things down here. I was going to do a MySpeed thing, but I don't have a way to do that with my current setup. And then what was this? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah. A lot of those are offline because their IP address has changed. So anyway, I'll probably play with some more stuff in here, because why not? Why not have some fun stuff in the background to keep you entertained? But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. Maybe Wednesday, Tuesday, maybe at some point this week, we'll do a live stream where I just rebuild my my home lab, or not my home lab, geez, my Home Assistant. I think there was home in there somewhere. Maybe we'll do a Home Assistant stream where I just kind of rebuild everything from the ground up to do better things for what I need. Maybe I'll just have them both up kind of next to each other so I can copy some things over. But yeah, I feel like there's some changes I need to make there, and I feel like for people who want to get into Home Assistant, it might be a fun live stream, or maybe I should do that next weekend. Should I do a Home Assistant live stream during the week or on the weekend? I feel like we'd get more people on the weekend, because I don't want to exclude anybody, and I feel like we'd get more people on the weekend. Let me know. I'm curious about that. I'll also put a poll out for the community on my different social medias. But workday is tough for you, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Maybe, yeah. Weekends or evenings work best for you. Yeah, and I get that. The problem is, like, with the kid, sometimes evenings. I say that out of habit. The kid's been so good lately. The kid's been so good at home lately. It's been really, really nice. But weekends are for partying, or so I hear. Yeah, that's why we do these live streams fairly early in the day on Saturday, so that you can sleep in from Friday night, but you can still you're not getting your weekends taken up. Yeah, partying. I'm in my 40s. I don't do that anymore, right? Yeah, I don't remember the last time I was partied. Okay, so maybe next weekend we'll do a home assistant thing where we'll just build a new home lab I keep saying home lab. Maybe we'll just build a new home assistant setup and go for there. Good for us in the Middle East and Lebanon. Yeah. So maybe that'll be the plan. Next Saturday we'll do a home assistant thing. In the meantime, there's like I said, there's another Twingate video coming up, kind of a supplemental to the live stream. I'm sure I've got other stuff coming from this list of stuff that we took a look at here. I've got some other things that I want to look at, like this NPM Plus, maybe PlickShare. I don't know which of these we're going to take a look at next, but I've got some other stuff. I've got some other stuff that I'll take a look at making some videos for as well. I have been partied. There was one time in my early 20s, I was in a band. I wasn't good, but I was the bass player, and the part of the deal was we got paid X number of dollars, plus we got X number of drinks per. It was kind of broken up. We played for like 5 hours a night at this place, and so we got X number of drinks over the course of that, and I was so inebriated by the end that we went to a little Greasy Spoon diner down the road. Just like it was like literally like 3 shops down, not quite a strip mall, but kind of a strip mall, and I ended up paying for breakfast for everybody in the restaurant. So I got partied that night. It cost me a couple $100, because it was like 3:00 in the morning. There weren't a lot of people there, thankfully, but yeah, I ended up paying a couple $100 for breakfast for everybody at the restaurant at that point. So yeah, I it is what it is. It was 20 years ago. I'm pretty much over it. It was just a hell of a thing for back then. So yeah, but that is to say, I have been partied in that regard. So yeah, I'll pull something from this list that we put together. That was generous, yeah. So I'll pull something from this list. We'll make a video about it this week, and then next Saturday, the next Saturday we'll just do a live stream where I build a new home assistant setup, and maybe we can have some people smarter than me in here to tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I'm sure I will, because I always do. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what we're going to cover today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate it. Thank you to Collins for the generous donation of 5 memberships. Super appreciate that. Everybody who joined over on Twitch, thank you so much for helping me keep those Twitch numbers up. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to go elevate my feet for a bit. I've been having some edema issues in my left leg recently, so periodically I got to put my feet up and let it drain, which is dumb. But yeah, so I think with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. Again, thank you to everyone who has been here for a minute or an hour or the whole stream. Super appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you guys again here really, really soon.